You are listening to the Interview Podcast,
where we interview the real you.
We discover our guests' passions, skills, dreams, and wisdom they've learned along the way.
Get ready for some friendly banter,
Controversial hot takes.
Christian pickup lines, and riveting conversations.
Let's dive in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into another episode of the Interview Podcast, episode 26. We are really excited to be back. It has been a while since we've recorded, right, Derek?
Yes, feels like 3 years.
Because sometimes we record and don't release episodes for a while after the recording happens. So it's been quite a bit since we've actually recorded. So we're really
kind of rusty.
Yeah, honestly,
Shaking off the rust, Jen.
We're gonna have to get some. We should have warmed up or something before this, but
Yeah.
We're really excited to be back and recording again, especially with some awesome guests that we have today. But before we get started on the episode, I'm going to throw it over to Derek, and he is going to shout out our sponsor for this episode.
All right. Well, very excited about our sponsor. Big shout out to Mike King from Lancaster, good friend of ours. Good friend of mine. Jen, you don't know him, but
who are you, Mike?
You should know. You should know.
No,
him.
I do. I know who he is.
You know
I just
who
don't
he
think
is.
I've ever talked to him.
Legend in his own right.
Yeah.
But no, he wanted to give a big shout out to LBS, I guess. So LBS is Lancaster Bible School. It happens every summer for pretty much like a week, like a Monday through Friday, where you get city kids in. This is like a crazy operation from where this thing started to where it is now. They bring in like 500 kids every day with school buses, vans. It's like an insane thing. And there's usually like 70 some teacher pairs, and it's like 300 staff just for this event. It's crazy. It's insane. So Mike's been involved with LBS for like 5 years. He's been doing games. There's a games team. He's been involved with that for 2 years. He brings the energy. He brings the hype. He's a great dude. So anyway, if you're looking for an opportunity to do like kids ministry and want to do something like that with city kids, it's literally one of the most rewarding weeks you will experience. You'll be spent by the end of it, but the amount of relationships you build, we've been able to be part of it for a long time. And some of the relationships we built from that are like will last a lifetime. So.
And when is that, Derek? Every year? Same weekend?
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It's like end of July, 1st of August.
Okay.
So
mark your calendars, guys.
So mark it down. I expect 1,000 signups. Probably. That'd probably be a little excessive. But anyway, so thank you, Mike. Appreciate you so much.
All right. Well, we're going to move right along into our guest for today. We're pretty excited about it because our guests today are pretty special to both Derek and I. And so I'm just going to have them introduce themselves, say who you are, where you're from, and just a little bit about what you do.
My name is Anthony Miller.
And I'm his wife, Katie.
And we are from Columbus, North Carolina, so locally here. And I am a commercial pilot, fly full-time for the past 3.5 years and absolutely loving it.
Wow, that is amazing.
Fantastic.
And you guys have one little boy.
We do.
And you want to tell us his name?
His name is Tekoa Zion.
And he just turned 1, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Last Sunday.
I saw him bathing in cake the other day.
Yes,
I'm
he
like,
was.
that is appropriate. Such an appropriate thing for a 1-year-old.
Yes,
so
it is.
That's
And
awesome.
for an adult.
I mean, well, Jen.
I think we just had a birthday party for another little 1-year-old the other day, and needless to say, he wasn't the only one digging into his cake.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
With his
Did you
hands.
join him?
Yes, I had to help him learn how to do it.
You don't want him to
you had
feel
show
alone.
him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for
it was
sure.
all for the optics. They really
Set the
wanted
example.
to dig in.
You're right, Jen.
So Tony and Katie, they are, like he said, they've been living here for a few. Did you say how many years?
3.5.
3.5 years.
Yeah.
And so we've gotten to know them. They moved in soon when COVID started.
Yeah, right before COVID.
Right before
hit.
COVID.
Right before Rona.
And so I remember seeing Tony on the stage. He was all of a sudden there was this random guy performing with the church worship team on a Sunday when we did outdoor services, and he was on the outdoor stage, and I was in my car. We had drive-up services, and I was like, I have no idea who that is, and he is on the worship team. So somehow they came in, but because of COVID, we couldn't interact, and so it was a while until I actually got to meet Tony and Katie. But since then, it's been incredible getting to know them. For both Derek and I, you guys are an incredible asset to this community, to our church, and we just really love and appreciate you guys. So we're excited to have you on this podcast so that other people can get just a little window into who you are and be blessed by it. And probably be jealous of the fact that we get to live here and do life with you guys and they don't. So
Definitely.
anyway,
Right.
people start moving to North Carolina after this
Yeah,
episode.
You're right. Let's be honest.
So anyway,
Yeah, no, it's a real honor to have you guys. I think back, Tony, to like the first time me and you kind of met and talked at a prison crusade when our
Yes.
service was like delayed. So we sat in a cafeteria and just like talked for a long time.
Yes.
That's been quite a few years ago, man.
3 hours straight.
Bro, it's
Locked in
insane.
prison.
I know,
That is a long time.
exactly. When you're
Can't
locked
go
up
anywhere.
together, I mean, you got all the time in the world. And then being out there for the Bible schools and stuff that you guys would put on was like some of the best moments that I can remember.
Yeah,
So,
great times,
very
great
much
memories.
So. Yep. So
And they're
we're
a young
excited.
couple. Me and Derek
Yes.
just turned 30, but I feel like they're
Bunch
so
of-
much wiser than us, but
I
they're in
don't
like
think
their
so.
mid 20s.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
anyway,
exactly.
but we're
So,
excited to learn from them today.
Yeah.
So, guys, to jump into it, if you guys have listened to the episodes before, you probably kind of know how we get rolling.
Absolutely.
We got to have a little bit of rapid fire because why not?
Yeah.
And it gets you guys a little loosened up, hopefully, and relaxed, and just hear some fun things about you guys through your answers. So, the way rapid fire works is rapid
Don't think, just
Fire.
do. Top Gun. Don't think,
fire off
just do.
some rapid answers.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So
Exactly.
these won't be crazy difficult, and we're going to go back and forth. So Tony, I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to ask you a different question, Katie. So
Gotcha,
you're
okay.
answering yours, Katie. You're going to answer your questions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And just go as fast as you can and see where it ends up. And then we're just going to do a few of those, and then we're going to
good.
also go into some how well do you know your spouse?
Oh boy.
The real McCoy.
Because we want to test your
You should have
knowledge
given
of
me
each other.
those questions.
Come on, Tony.
serious.
Nah,
No to
come on.
questions.
Come on,
You
man.
should know these already. All right, Tony. What place would you most want to travel to?
Switzerland.
Nice.
Katie, if you could be a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Ooh, invisibility.
That's what I'm
Good
talking
one.
about. Tony, if you had to change your name, what would you change it to?
I love my name, so I don't think I would.
I don't think we've ever
I
had
like
that.
That's good.
I like when people don't. They're like, "Well, I didn't give you the option to not say that, but that's what you said." This is who Tony is.
Maybe,
he draws
honestly,
outside
No,
the
yeah.
box.
No, I like it.
Maybe come to think about it, I love my son's name, Takoa.
Oh.
I've always loved that name for years and years.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're going to put one down, that
Oh, Takoa and Takoa Jr.
There you
That's
go.
true. Takoa J. That's true. That's, yeah.
TJ.
That's
There
cute.
we go.
TJ. Ah, close one.
This is totally random, but I just heard a joke about that guy that does the "you know you're a redneck" bits. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know the-
Oh,
he's like,
boy.
"You know you're a redneck if your name is Philip, or if your son's name is Philip Jr. and your name's not Philip."
Oh, that's taking a bit for Garrett.
I literally have zero clue what I don't even want to think about it. Just
I'll
keep
tell you
going.
later.
If I laugh later, you
Yeah.
know I'm getting
Okay.
a fill up.
Katie, if you could be transformed into an animal, what would it be?
Ooh, a dolphin.
Oh, wow.
Slick and fast, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Sorry, I
maybe
swam
for its
with.
brains, Jen. I don't know. It's one of the most
They're
intelligent
beautiful-
creatures.
They're beautiful and
Slick and
angelic. I don't know. Well, I swam with
Sounds
them
like a
one
slimy
time.
salesman. Slick and
There you
fast.
go.
I swam with dolphins before, and that's just what came to my head. Anyway, those are beautiful animals, Katie. You'd make a good dolphin. I don't know what I'm saying.
Jen, you know what? Can we just move on?
All right, cutting that. Moving on. Okay, Tony, if you could learn any language in a week, what would it be? Do not say Spanish,
That is the most popular answer.
because you can learn that anyway.
Russian.
You don't want to learn how to speak anything else?
Russian.
Hey, my God.
That actually was the
Was
first
it?
thing that came to my mind.
Oh, it was.
That's so
Yeah.
random.
See, I got
That's
you,
so
bro.
random.
I got you.
Because
Okay.
I can already speak Spanish, so that's not an issue.
Oh,
That's
he
a
didn't even
big
need to say it.
flex.
He already knows it.
That is a big
Okay,
flex.
the next you
It
have to
is,
speak the
it
rest of
is.
your answers in Spanish from here on out to prove it.
Hey, do your next answer in Spanish. Do it.
Say again?
Do your
Oh.
next answer in Spanish.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
but it's Katie.
Give-
I'll
give
come.
your
I'll
best
do
shot.
Katie, then I'll come back to you. You're gonna actually, it'll be a good question for that.
Okay.
Katie, what is your ideal outdoor temperature?
Ooh, like 70, 75-ish.
Solid.
Yes.
Okay.
Can work with that.
Tony, in Spanish, what's the first thing you notice about someone when meeting them?
Sus ojos.
Oh, their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was not thinking that.
Well, I'm
Los
hoping.
ojos, sí. Yep, their eyes.
Oh,
It's the eyes are the window to the soul. It's the first thing that
Wow.
I'll notice
Okay.
pretty much with anybody.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure. Katie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Ooh.
Yeah. Tony's shaking his
not-
head.
He's like,
won't
no.
let
He's
Tony
like,
answer.
oh, time out.
Okay, it depends on what it is. If it's like, oh, Tony, I got you a gift. I'm gonna keep it a secret this time. And then he comes home and I'm like, guess what? I got you something. But if it's something that's like, do not tell anybody, I kind of try to just forget it, because then, sometimes you're like,
Then you
wait.
can't blurt it out.
Well, you're like, wait, because I've had times when something comes up in conversation. You're like, wait, could I say this or not?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if I'm not supposed to, I'm just gonna pretend I don't
Yeah.
know
You're
it.
like, I don't know
just
anything
to
about that
avoid
topic.
that.
That feels like a dangerous place to live, Katie.
Pretty much.
I feel
Pretty
you.
much.
Live in the unknown. Just live in the forgetfulness. And
Well,
you're
yeah.
safe.
Then if you just like kind of put it out of your mind, then it's like then I forget what
Okay.
I don't know.
That's smart. So
That's-
we're going to give you're a 9. Yeah,
Sure.
we're going to go with that.
I don't know. That feels pretty generous. I'm not
thinking more
Tony,
like
but
2, maybe.
I'm more on the lower side of the scale.
I have to have Katie's back.
There you
so
go.
that's
Thank
fine.
you,
Good.
thank you. Jen.
I would trust you, Katie.
I didn't mean to insult you there, Katie. I don't know. It felt like it wasn't a 9.
Like
That's yeah.
attacking Katie.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Tony, would you rather be a passenger or a driver on a road trip?
That is changing. I think a passenger now.
Really?
Unless you're
Really?
in really bad weather conditions, like if you're driving in snow
Okay.
or at night,
Yeah.
then I'd
You'd go
much rather
passenger?
drive.
So if
But
it's dangerous, you'd rather be at the wheel because it's
Correct.
too stressful
Yeah,
to
yeah.
not. But on a regular road trip, just chilling.
Let me
passenger.
sleep.
Yeah, I'm with you
I
on
got
that
you.
one.
I got you, Tony.
Okay, and then our last two of these, my two favorite ones, Katie, socks or bare feet to sleep?
Oh.
Do not, no, socks in bed. That is psychopath behavior.
Hey, atta girl. Bring it, Katie. Yes.
I'm all of a sudden I'm going back on me be having your back
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
you.
because it is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Are you with her, Tony?
So when we got married, I always wore socks to bed.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
the way to go.
Okay.
And
Absolutely.
she literally
Wouldn't let you.
would
She
like
helped
grab
you
my
find freedom?
socks and
Oh.
rip them off.
That's grounds for divorce.
Pretty much. That's why we had so many problems at first.
early on. Yeah, some real hurdles in the marriage.
Let the man wear some socks.
So,
Can keep her
say,
hands off your feet.
Oh, gross.
Oh, sorry, that sounded weird, but anyway.
Please, everybody wear socks from now on.
so I don't anymore. I don't.
I mean, she couldn't.
Well,
you
Derek,
know.
you saw his feet earlier.
Let's be honest. Tony and Katie walk in with their dogs out.
Absolutely.
So
All the
we
time.
we knew where this conversation was going. I'm the only one with socks on right now, which is
Yeah,
ironic.
I don't wear socks during the day. I'm just wear them to bed.
See,
Anyway.
that's so
more
opposite of
comfortable
me.
that way.
Yeah,
This
they're
is.
cozy.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
Yeah,
My feet don't
I
like
disagree.
being airborne. Anyway.
Airport? Why does that actually work?
Like in the air, yeah. Okay, well, we'll let that go, Kate, even though I should kick you off this podcast. Okay, and Tony, toilet paper. Let's see if there's any redemption on this one. Toilet paper, over or under the roll?
Neither.
What? Just don't use it. Is that what you're saying?
Landed said a bidet. I'm right
okay.
there with him.
Oh,
but here's the thing. I was going to
big
build
bidet
one
guy?
and bring it here.
You were gonna
but I
build a
decided-
bidet?
Not a bidet.
Oh.
Hang
A
on.
toilet?
I was like,
Instead of having it on a roll where it's over or under, you should have it standing straight up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah.
Side.
you mean like where it would
Sideways.
like funnel up?
No, honestly,
No,
they
no,
have
no.
those already.
Straight up and down,
They have
like-
the holders that you sit on the floor.
so confused.
And it's
Yep.
a pole, a little
It's a
pole.
pole.
Why is that the
straight up.
craziest? My mind
And
can't.
then you put
can't
it over
comprehend
top.
this
Yeah,
right now.
like if this was a roll, it's like, standing
There's
straight
like
up
a-
and
It's like on
down.
its side?
Like a paper towel.
Yeah, like a paper
Oh.
towel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be like that, but on
You
the
could
back
still
of-
like have that over. Well, I guess
No,
it's not
it's
over
the
under. It's
side.
side to side.
It's
It's
the
a
side.
side.
That's
It's a
actually
side.
that actually wouldn't be a bad
Yeah.
play. I don't
but
think.
outside of that, I really don't care.
Oh, way to rock
Okay.
the boat.
I do
No
not
one's ever
care.
said that,
Wow,
but
interesting. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that different perspective.
Katie, are you over or under?
Over.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Always.
Okay.
Always
I don't know
over.
why. I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kind of does.
All right, guys. Great job on that for the most part, other than some of your answers. But in any case, okay. So now
Yeah.
we're gonna go into a really fun little segment
Oh, yeah.
for you guys. Honestly, this is like almost like marriage counseling because it's gonna help you guys. If you don't know these
Yeah.
things, you'll learn them and you'll learn about how to deal
Very
with
good.
controversy. So
Yes.
this is very good.
Yes.
Thank us later. Okay, so it's going to be how well do you know your spouse? Tony, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to say it for Katie, and then Katie, you're going to say it right back for Tony, what you think the answer is. So you're
For them.
speaking
Oh.
for them. So, for example, first question is, Tony, what is Katie's favorite color?
Purple.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Ding,
it
ding,
is.
ding.
Nice job.
Nice. We
He
still
was
need our sound
super
effects.
confident.
Yeah, I know. That was good.
And then Katie, what is Tony's favorite color?
Blue.
Yeah?
You got it.
Okay. That's
right.
That was the
hot
easy
start.
one. That was the one to gauge
Nice.
like if you guys are actually like even married.
So you guys have a legit marriage. Praise
Yes.
God. Good.
You
Good.
are married for real.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Tony, what is Katie's ideal date night?
I think it is to go. Well, now that we have a kid, find a babysitter.
Yeah.
Kind of forget about that. No, just go out to a restaurant somewhere, usually a steakhouse.
Okay.
And quality time is like,
Peak.
yeah. So the other night we went out, got steak, and then went and flew around for like an hour.
Whoa.
That's
Up over
so
this area. I
romantic.
think.
Sounds
I mean,
mad
I
romantic.
could be wrong, but
No, I mean that's pretty dead. Especially if there's food and flying. It really doesn't get
There's
much.
F and F. Food and flying.
And fellowship.
Yeah,
there you
FF and F. I don't know about that.
And you had to throw in 3 F's there? Oh, my.
I mean, it is what it is. The
Anyway,
trifecta.
the trifecta.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's good, Tony. Katie, what would be Tony's ideal date night?
I mean, definitely it also involves steak.
The exact same thing.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
pretty much.
Ish?
I mean,
okay.
And then maybe going and chilling at home, watching a movie.
Low key?
Yeah, pretty
Just
low
basically
key.
both would be being together, like spending quality
yeah.
time together, doing
Yep.
something that you both enjoy. That's awesome. Well, at least you guys know what each other likes if you're going to go on a date. That's important. Tony, what is Katie's least favorite household task?
Laundry.
Yep.
Yep.
Very
nailed it.
specifically, putting the laundry away.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So a lot of it
Okay.
just hangs out in the living room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
At
mean,
least it's close. You know where to get it when you leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You start at the washer, then you go to the dryer,
Dryer
then
and
the couch.
just make your rounds. Hey, I mean,
Eventually, you come up with a full set of
As long as
clothes.
as long as it's clean, man. That's all I can
yeah.
say.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're in your own
that-
home. You can do exactly what
Yeah.
you want. No, yeah, exactly.
Katie, what would be Tony's least favorite household task?
Ooh, he actually, I mean, he doesn't hate any of them. He loves cleaning. Like I
Okay.
come home
Wow.
from shopping one day and he's dusting the ceiling fans. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean that tells you a little bit about Tony.
It
So
does.
He likes
it
to
does.
clean.
yeah,
Okay.
Way to go, Tony. I get you a man like that. That's what I'm looking for.
I know.
So that I don't have to do all of it. That's teamwork, though. Good job.
So you want to? Never mind.
Whoa, I gotta hear it.
Katie's
I
out
gotta
mowing
hear
the
it.
yard
I
until
was just gonna say. So you want him to make the money and clean the house and do all the homework?
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Yep. Good to know.
preferably.
Good to
If
know.
he could cook too, that'd
Just
be good.
checking in there, Jennifer. Yeah. No,
No,
I know. No,
I'll make
I
the
totally
money.
hear you. I'll make. Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
You're right. You're right.
He
you're
can
right.
do that now. Teamwork. It's all about teamwork.
Yeah, that's great.
And then whatever. You both answered that. No, you said he doesn't really have one. Okay. Tony, when Katie was young, what did she want to be when she grew up?
Married to me, pretty much.
Oh, dream come true. Got it.
Dude,
he's got a
I love
wild
how quick
why
you
imagination.
was that? That was in the
That was literally on the tip of his
whatever,
tongue.
ready
the
to
repertoire.
be fired, and
Yeah,
he didn't
that was
even
in
know.
that was in the chamber.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Married
supposed to be
to
out.
me.
Like I
Katie,
said, he's got a
confidence.
wild
I love the
imagination.
confidence.
A
was
very
that actually your dream, Katie?
No.
I
Oh,
didn't
come
know.
on.
No.
Wow.
So working
a
with
dream you didn't know you had. Katie.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
that. Yeah, we can go with that.
Unknown.
What were you, like 12 when God revealed it to you?
Whoa. Hey, well
she
we're
was
gonna
gonna be
we're gonna get
married?
into
Yeah.
that.
Sounds like
so,
quite the story.
man,
See, look,
that's
I
a
told-
good
No,
sneak
but
preview to what's
working
next.
with young girls, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Troubled teens, different things like that.
That'd be right, Katie?
yes.
Other than being married to him. Perfect.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Cool.
yes.
Awesome. And then Katie, what did Tony want to be when he grew up?
Oh my word. Shocker. Do you want to take a guess?
Oh boy.
Well, not a pilot.
Yeah.
Not a
I
pilot.
think
Oh, a
oh.
pilot.
No.
No.
I'm trying to
I
think.
mean,
if I know this.
I mean, that's what I remember of him is like he'd always be out flying his little RC planes and doing all this stuff. And him and one of our other friends, it was always like the ultimate thing was to like be a pilot and fly a King Air. Like that was
Okay.
when you've achieved it. So
Wow.
And you've done that.
And he did it.
and more.
Way to go, Tony.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Okay, Tony, if Katie was to perform in a talent show, what would she do? So this gives you a
Boy.
chance to like show off your spouse's talent.
I have no idea.
Some talents are hard to display on a stage. but
Yeah.
give it a whirl.
Yeah. I have no clue. If she was to perform in a talent show,
Yeah.
what would she do?
I feel like she could do comedy. I feel like Katie.
I feel like
make
Katie
me
could
laugh.
actually be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd laugh. Like not in a good way. In a
Yeah,
really good-
that-
Hey, as long as they're laughing, they might be laughing at you, but if they're laughing, I mean, hey.
I honestly don't have an answer for
Okay.
that. Sorry,
Okay,
guys.
well, that's fine.
No, it's
Katie,
okay.
you have to start being like, hey, check out my talent.
Hey, honey, this is what I'm good at.
like watch this. I don't
does
know
a
what
handstand.
She like
Yeah,
starts
does
becoming a
cartwheel
magician.
into a backflip.
She's a magician now.
Yeah,
She goes home
there
and does
you go.
magic
You're
tricks.
right. You're right.
Katie, what would Tony do if he performed at a talent show?
Definitely sing.
Mm-hmm.
He might think he can do stand up.
He might think so.
She's like, but he is not compared to me.
I am the king of dad jokes.
Hey, a good
not
good
yet.
delivery on a dad joke. Hard to beat, man.
Not yet.
No.
I'm still working on that talent.
Hey, well, we're gonna have to do a talent show one of these days and actually do all these talents.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm kidding.
Tony, would Katie say her biggest pet peeve is about you? Like,
Texting and driving.
yes.
okay, you hate when he texts and drives.
That's why
well,
I like
that's illegal.
to be the passenger.
Oh.
I have so many important things that I need to do that I don't,
Yeah.
He's a busy man. He's like,
Yeah.
I need to be
yeah.
on my phone.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Katie,
So I'd
Tony
rather
nailed
just
that.
like save all our lives and drive.
I'd rather keep on living and not send the text.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood, Katie.
Okay, well, he nailed that. Katie, what would Tony's biggest pet peeve be about you?
How much time do we have?
Give
mean, you ask him that?
All right.
Probably that.
Oh,
well,
how much time do we have?
Yeah.
Jen's like, that's an odd pet peeve. Because it isn't.
My
Yeah.
brain.
Well, sometimes so I'm the messy one of the two of us, which I feel like is flip flop because usually the husband's like
Generally, more
yeah.
untidy.
But
Yeah.
that's me, and so like sometimes when I'm cooking, I'm like in the zone and I'm doing stuff, and I'll like leave the cabinet doors and drawers open, and he goes nuts, and he just like comes in and he just starts aggressively shutting them. I'm like, oh, shoot, sorry, I'm just kind of focused on what I'm doing here.
Like I'm just trying to get a nutritious meal for
Yeah.
you.
Right, trying to keep
Just
you healthy.
yeah.
That actually could be one of her talents. She could do a cooking show.
Well, I thought about
'Cause
that. You know what I
she
mean?
is
Cooking,
amazing.
but I
that's
didn't
very
know like in
true.
a talent show does that
Yeah,
actually go
We can
in?
make it
Well,
happen.
Yeah, but there's some great
well,
cooking
'cause
shows
she's
out
like
there.
the best
and-
cook.
Yeah, so it is
Katie
can
makes
actually be
some
entertaining.
incredible food. I will
Absolutely.
Shout out to Katie.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, Tony, what is one of Katie's favorite hobbies or pastimes?
She loves to fly.
Yes.
That's really cool because you both can fly together, which is amazing.
Yep.
And then Katie, what about Tony's?
Oh, I mean, he would sing all day, every day if he could, or play one of his 3 instruments.
Yes.
So that's what I'd have to go with.
So singing and flying. You guys are a singing flying couple.
Pretty much.
Whatever that
True.
means.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, what is one of Katie's biggest fears? And this doesn't have to be like deep, like, but something that she's like, oh, I'm scared of this.
Other than when I text and drive.
Honestly, that could be the same. That could be it as well as the pet peeve.
Basically, she's one of her biggest fears, I would say, is getting kidnapped. Like, no, hang on. Like somebody,
Okay, all right.
you're driving down Spartanburg, for example.
Yeah.
You're driving down through street. It's
Which
pretty
is-
sketchy.
I
in
feel like
places.
I have
She always knows every street that we're on.
Oh, really?
And if I ask her why,
Really?
because like I don't
I
care.
wouldn't
would
even know that.
recognize the streets, but I have no idea
Yeah.
what they are, what
She
they're
knows
called.
the names of the
She
streets.
knows the names.
Why? In case she has to
because-
call the police?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, I'm on Walker Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come rescue me.
Wow, Katie.
Well, I mean, it's saved lives, and maybe it's because I've watched or listened to too many true crime stories.
Filled your mind with too many things, Katie.
Well, especially since having a kid, I'm just like,
Yeah.
if you take me, I mean, whatever, but like,
Right, but my child. Yeah.
that's another story.
That's fair.
That is a
That's
valid
fair.
fear.
Interesting.
And it happens to people. So, Katie, what is one of Tony's biggest fears?
Heights.
Oh, really?
He literally just said we were talking about something. He's like, no, I hate heights. Or snakes. Like, well, it's not as much as it was, but snakes,
Snakes
like,
more
he
than
can't
heights.
stand.
Well,
Like,
but
yeah.
so there's a difference between flying a plane heights and then like climbing up like a ladder or like going on a skyscraper or something, Tony. So is that what she's like? Is that
Yeah, I'm
is that
not a
legit
huge
thing?
fan of heights.
Okay.
It's specifically if I'm on rocks, like rock climbing.
Oh.
I love to climb, but once
then
I
the
get up to the
heights,
top, I'm just
you're down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely
So
down.
that's
So-
okay. So in context there.
Good
Yeah.
job, Katie.
Okay. I'm with you on the snakes,
But
man.
snakes,
I'm out on the
that's
snakes.
it.
No, thank you
Out
on
on
the
the
snakes.
snakes. Yep.
Okay, guys, we're wrapping this up. Tony, when is your anniversary?
It is 5/30/19, which would be May 30th.
He did not miss a beat on that.
Oh,
And
it's been a thing.
Katie,
Okay.
what is Tony's birthday?
March 1st, 96.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys know the dates. It's embarrassing how much younger he is than me.
Whoa, Jen.
Oh, well.
It's 3 years. It's not that much.
4. Wait, 6. Are you 26?
7.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Poor Jen.
23 years. I
Math
can't do
isn't
math.
her strong suit.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay,
Fine.
Jennifer.
It's fine.
She's like, I was born in 93.
Yeah.
6 years apart.
Yeah.
You're like, ah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Tony, what is Katie's number one love language?
Quality time.
Katie, would you say that's true?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And Katie, what about Tony's?
Ooh, I'd say it's kind of a toss-up between, physical touch and acts of service, but I don't know.
Kind of split down the middle there.
He says
No.
no, but like,
Tony's like, no. Tony knows who he is. I like that. He's like, no.
What would you say it is, Tony?
Oh, it's physical touch.
Okay.
By far.
By far.
Yeah.
Then acts
Yeah.
of service after
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she wouldn't say that, I don't think, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm.
That's the way you roll.
Yep.
he's like a cat. It's like, I'll just be sitting on the couch and he
Like
just like
pet
comes
it?
up and literally like, can you scratch my back or
Aw.
my head or
Yeah.
whatever?
Aw,
So
just need to have
yeah.
that human
Yeah.
touch.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Okay,
you
well,
go.
guys, I think you passed that pretty well.
Honestly, that
Like-
was
How much do we owe you for the counseling side of things?
We'll talk later.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that was
Square
actually
up at the end.
It's
yeah,
a
we'll
lot,
square up at
and
the
we
end.
don't want people to
Honestly,
not
not
come
as
on
much as
because
some
it's
couples.
expensive.
Some couples, it's been expensive.
Yeah,
I
because
feel like
some,
you guys aren't
some couples
super expensive.
don't actually
No.
get much right.
We've really helped them. I don't feel like we've helped
Yeah.
you guys much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much for answering those. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys alluded to a little bit of some of this stuff in these in those questions, but just tell us a little bit about how you guys met and got married and kind of that story so that people can know a little bit more about who you are.
So we have known each other for as long as I can remember. She was born in Montana. I've been there since I was 4 months old. I do not remember meeting her or her family at all. So
You just always knew her.
always knew her.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Grew up right across the field from each other. So yeah, we go way, way, way back. You can go ahead and tell them how how we got together.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah,
it
yeah.
started when we were 12.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say,
Oh,
is
yeah.
that like
Maybe
a
for-
sandbox revelation? You're like throwing sand at each other. You're like, dang, I'm gonna marry this person, or like,
I mean, maybe for him.
oh,
Katie was like,
No,
you got to fight
well,
me.
you can both throw in
Well,
your sides of the story
he's
here.
got it in his head that I've basically been in love with him since I was a child.
and
which
that is
I
or
think
isn't
he's-
true.
I mean,
Tony
I
has
liked
really
him.
good self-image. She's like, what would you be?
Yeah, he's like,
Hey,
why not?
Who wouldn't
Yeah.
be? Yeah.
I mean, I definitely liked him on and off, but like, I don't even remember like liking him at this point in time. But what he was saying about when, like, when I was 12, I don't know how old I was, but I remember we'd go around and we'd go sing it for older people in the community, and I just remember standing there. I wasn't even like, thinking about anything or whatever, and I just like it was like a almost an audible voice, like, "That's who you're gonna marry,"
Nuh-uh.
and I was like,
Wow.
At,
That's
that was
wild.
12?
I
At the
don't-
nursery?
I don't know
Early
how-
teens, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
And I was
Wow,
just
that's
like,
pretty
okay,
young.
but like I literally didn't say I didn't tell anyone that until
Yeah.
years later because I was like, what if it's not or what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to,
Not
really
really
at
at all.
wrong.
Yeah. So I just kind of put it out of my head,
Yeah.
and because I was like, I don't want that to be something that's going to distract me or like, be dead set on this because like, what if it's not? Because
Yeah.
I'll let you say stuff. I'll let you take it from here, but. I told him he's not allowed to throw me under the bus tonight, so we'll see.
Oh, okay. All right.
No bus throwing.
Yeah. No, I just remember one time I used to sing with her older sister and my sister, and one time I had Rose come over to sing. We're practicing a song, and my Katie came along, and like I was just talking as I always am. I told them, I was like, yeah, I said, if anybody has a kind of personality like of a person that I could date, it would be Katie. Didn't even think anything of it. Okay,
She's right there. Okay.
Yeah, she's right there.
Yeah,
but
for
we're,
sure.
I mean,
You're
13.
friends. Yeah,
probably.
exactly. You can throw stuff out like
And
that.
it felt
no
like
biggie.
instantly, at least from my perspective, felt like instantly like she grabbed onto that, and I was
She was
like,
like, yeah, I'm
shoot.
the one.
Oh, you were saying shoot at that point?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
All the way up until 3 weeks before we started dating.
Well,
so.
you shouldn't
My
be saying
goodness.
stuff like that to girls.
Yeah, maybe don't be getting their hopes up if you're not
Well,
interested.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah,
about
right. I mean, you're
so,
13. I mean,
Typical
yeah,
man.
It's true.
Yeah, typical man. Oh,
Typical
kidding.
man.
I was
Wow.
gonna
I love
say
men.
something, but I'll
You
just,
could. Yeah, I know the feeling there, brother. Yep.
So yeah, that was way back then. Went through our teenage years, obviously growing up together in the youth group, and in January of 2018, I felt pretty clear. I was in a really good place, but I felt pretty clear. It was weird that in 6 months I was going to start dating. Had no idea, and I knew it was going to be like in July.
You knew, so you knew when, but you didn't know who.
Yeah, it was really weird. And it also, that somewhat follows a prophecy from a friend of mine from the year before, the fall before. But anyways, that being said, I wasn't like looking or anything like that. But 3 weeks before we actually started dating, I remember my mom, she even asked me, she said, hey, what do you think about Katie? I said, I'd never marry that girl.
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
she's like, well,
Strong
just
language.
think
Careful
about
what
it.
you say never to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And long story short, she was getting ready to go to LBS, right?
Yes.
For the first
Oh, wow.
time.
Gang,
Yeah.
gang.
Yep.
And
Sponsor.
like I thought about it, and the thought of her going to LBS and somebody asking her out, I was like, oh, I'm going to kill the guy.
Oh, I really
So-
fired you up, Tony.
Right
Really
away,
lit
I
your
was like,
fire, man.
Jealousy told him.
something's not adding
Yeah,
up here.
that's so that's so funny.
Yeah.
If a guy looks at her for 1 2 seconds, I'll kill him.
Oh, yeah,
Pull him over
absolutely.
and punch him out.
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
What in the world?
That's,
So that was
long-
so. Then what did you
Passion
do?
was lit.
started talking to my brother-in-law, who was my best friend for ever since we were 10. And he's got this little bit of a Wisconsin accent, and he's just like,
Yeah, oh, boy.
I don't know, Tony. He said, I don't know. Just do it, he said.
Nike, just do it.
Best advice from a friend. What
yeah.
you do? Just
Just
do it.
Honestly, simple advice is sometimes the best.
Yeah.
So
And that was
that's good.
before LBS, or did she go?
That was well before.
With-
Yeah, this is still in June.
Okay.
So we went to a
Yeah.
wedding together. Yeah, I'll just leave out a bunch of details. We went to a wedding together. Ended up, my brother-in-law and I drove down together. Were you serving or a bridesmaid or something?
Yeah.
And so you and your sister drove down a couple days earlier. We all stayed at my cousin's house, and I'm trying to remember. We ended up riding home together. All four of us.
Okay.
My brother-in-law. What?
Because Ben, my brother-in-law, he drove down with me and my sister, and then
Okay.
he was like, it was like 3 days before the wedding. He's like, I don't want to be here. So he turned around and went back home.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
And so then when he went back
needed a ride
down,
home.
You guys
so when
had
he
to
went
ride
back
together.
down, he drove Tony down with him. And so then we all,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Because I
drive
was
back.
planning on flying down, but the weather kind of was a little bit bad, and I'd ask her if she wanted to fly home with me.
Oh.
Randomly,
Yeah.
I mean,
For
but-
no particular
No reason.
Yeah, no reason. Just out of friendship.
Yeah.
Just
Actually, it was. I
courtesy.
think at the time it would have been just
Would it?
Yeah.
literally just out of
Oh, really?
There wasn't nothing there
Okay.
quite yet. It was right at that
right on the
pivotal
tipping. Yeah, yeah.
moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he had still been planning to fly home, and I was going to fly back with him. And then I just remember randomly, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to fly back with him. And I didn't know why. I was like, there was not any like I wasn't scared or anything. I was just like, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to. So I told him, never mind, I'm not going to. I'll just drive back home with my sister. I didn't know why. So I kind of left it at that, and I didn't really think much of it. But anyway.
Yeah. So we got to my parents' house, and my sister Emmy was throwing a big party there. A bunch of people were in from, I don't know, Tennessee, back east here somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was feeling pretty sick for some reason, and so I ended up going over to Katie and I and my brother-in-law and his wife. They'd got married like 3-4 weeks before. We all went over to Katie's house to watch fireworks that we're going to shoot off at my parents' place, so you can see it, from each other. And long story short, we're down in the basement watching a movie. I think it's till it gets dark, and she said she's going to go upstairs and make coffee. And I don't remember.
You're like,
I
that's a
shot her a
two-person
text.
job.
Yeah.
Let me help
yeah.
you out.
It
Oh,
is.
there was.
It takes two hands.
Takes 4 hands.
One
Yours
of,
over
one of
hers.
mine, one of yours.
Yep,
Yeah,
pretty much.
exactly.
I don't know how much detail to go in, but
Tony said no. Katie's
yeah,
saying
no, Tony's
yes.
like, nah. There was something had happened earlier, like it wasn't anything bad or whatever, and he was feeling kind of bad about it, and he texted me, he's like, I actually feel kind of bad about this, like, and I was like, okay, why? Like, no big deal. And then I went upstairs to make coffee, and I texted him, I was like, get up here, like, what are you, like, I was like, you can't
Get
just,
up
like,
here now.
like, send me a text and be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of allude to something, and I was like, what about it? Like,
Sure.
and so he comes up to help make coffee.
and clear the air.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
much.
Pretty much.
basically.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And then did you? Did you guys
No.
work that out?
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
We talked, and it was in that moment when we were just standing there in the kitchen. We were talking that. This sounds horrible to say,
Oh, boy.
but literally for the first time in my life, I saw like true value in who she was, and also just very quietly, like there wasn't no huge like
Yeah.
clash of flash of lightning and sound of thunder, but I heard God basically say that if you ask her out, I'll bless you.
Oh, wow.
And so
Wow, that's
the
super cool.
beginning of the end of the story.
Wow.
That's wild.
Been
Yeah.
flying ever since.
So then
right.
how
Let's go,
long
man.
from that point till you asked her to be your girlfriend?
Like, what was that at 10 o'clock?
11
was that
o'clock.
was
yeah,
it that
it
night
was
yet?
that night.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Technically the next
Midnight.
morning, because it was probably 1 in the morning,
So literally from that.
Yeah.
And right before that happened, you weren't necessarily planning to ask her out?
No.
Okay. That's
Before the
crazy.
conversation, it wasn't in your
Put
plan.
it this way. No.
Wow.
No, if you would have told me when I was because we ate at my parents' house, you know what I mean, as a big party, bunch of friends. If you would have told me that I was going to ask her out in a few hours, I would have laughed at you.
That is
Like,
crazy.
Well, because
man.
I had been,
nuts.
That's wild.
we were over there, and like one of my friends, she was like, "Oh, you should find a boyfriend or something." I was like, "No, I'm too busy. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
time for that." And then
Yeah.
like a couple hours later, there we were. Which like at that point, I had no idea. Like, we were good friends, and like
Okay.
there was nothing weird. We were just. I felt like I was at a really good place with him. I was like, "This is kind of nice," because we're just good old pals that have always known each
Good old
other.
Good old
chums.
pals.
Good old friends.
And
Yeah.
so that's kind of where
Yeah.
I was at. Like, I had no idea that he even had been thinking about me or anything at all. Like, yeah, so it was definitely very,
So then he asked you, and did you say yes right away that night?
well, he didn't exactly ask
I
me.
never gave her a
No.
choice.
Ah,
I
You
know.
said,
What did you
"Okay,
say?
you're my girl."
Tony,
He's like,
what did you say?
"You're my girlfriend."
So are we going out to eat Friday night?
No, he
What
was
did you
literally
say?
like, so now that we're dating, or made some
What?
comment like that, and I was like, wait, I said, back up a little bit.
You're
and
kidding.
No,
Tony.
that is.
I don't remember if that's what
Are
I
you for
said.
real?
Yes, it was something about
Confident.
now that we're dating, or
Oh,
now that
now
you're
my
my
girlfriend.
girlfriend. Like, just like, and so I was like asking him a bunch
Tony,
of questions,
Tony.
like about the past few weeks and everything, and I was like making him basically spell it out because I knew that he didn't really want to, just because of the fact that we had both like. Yeah, just because of our history and everything. So I was like, no, you're gonna spell it out, and you're gonna tell me the
Yeah.
things you've been feeling, and all this stuff.
You can't
Sure.
just
So-
take me as your girlfriend. I need
Can't
to know
just say,
why,
"Hey,
how
now that we're
you
dating."
Yeah.
ask me.
But
Confident, but-
I already knew it was a yes. There was
Man,
no
maybe we need
question.
to be more confident. I don't know. So since we're dating,
Isn't that kind of annoying though,
I was
Katie,
gonna-
when you do want to say yes, but you don't want him to assume you're going to say yes.
Well, the thing is, I had been ignoring, and we had not been texting, so I'd been kind of giving him like the cold shoulder.
okay.
Which was rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very rare.
For the
Interesting.
past, I don't know how long it had been.
and you
just
probably
'cause-
didn't like that, Tony. You were like, hello.
No, it was
All of a
nice.
sudden she-
It
He was like,
nice
"Oh,
at the
she's
time.
good."
Oh, it was.
No, it was. It
Okay.
really was. Because then that's why we were in such a good place
Mm-hmm.
at the time.
Okay.
To start dating. You
Yeah.
were kind of a good place
Yeah.
to start. Okay.
Interesting.
Wow. So you said yes to dating.
Yes.
Like on the spot there, basically.
yeah.
But you kind of
yeah.
agreed to his
Okay.
his
proposition.
Well, it was his
His
state-
demands.
his statement.
Yeah,
of-
his statement.
I mean,
That's crazy.
listen. He jumped right into it. He said, "I love you," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Whoa!
I love you.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, he
Oh,
did.
wow. Man.
And I was
that
like,
comes like a few months
God
in.
spoke the word. Tony believed it.
Tony
walked
was
in
like,
it, and
"Let's-"
ba-boom.
Yeah, I was just like, "I love you too," I guess. I was like, I was
No,
like, as
you
a,
never answered. I
I
don't
don't.
think.
I thought I
Oh.
had said that. I was
No.
just like very caught off guard.
Well,
But I was
yeah,
like,
I'm
what
sure.
on? Like, what's
You got to
going
understand,
on?
though, that we were, I don't even want to say really good friends. It was really weird between us for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Like our entire lives growing up and whatnot. So just
Interesting.
throwing that in there.
Yeah, you guys have had quite the story. If we ever had time to share the full story, well, of what you could become comfortable with, it would be a lot because the fact that you guys are sitting here today married is actually incredible.
Yeah, it's
It's
a miracle.
wild.
It
But-
really is.
But basically, so you said yes to dating, and you guys got married. How long after that?
11 months.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 months after that, got
11
married,
months after.
and it's just been perfect ever since, right?
Oh,
Oh, smooth sailing,
Oh
brother.
yeah, so
It's too easy.
perfect.
Is there anything you want to share about that, about the getting married, like the day of, and like prior to, like a few weeks prior to that, or not so much?
boy.
No, not to
The
put you on the
day,
spot. You
the
don't
day
have to.
of, the day of was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember waking up super early in the morning out there, especially in the spring. It gets light at like 5,
Mm-hmm.
4:30, and no, it was just it was an incredible day. Had obviously way too many people there, but no, I really felt like God, you were there, Derek.
I was.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Privileged to be in there.
Yeah, I just remember it felt like God's blessing was just going to be on our lives and on our marriage. Because, yeah, we don't have time to get into it all, but like
Yeah.
leading up to that, from when I asked her out until, well, even after we were married, was, yeah, a lot of depression that I'd never experienced. And it was tough. It was not an easy road to walk at all. But we somehow made it through.
Yeah.
I have no idea how, other than God pulled us through.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, and I remember the thing you told me, was it the night before that you said if I could have had an out at that point? Was it the night before?
Yeah.
Or I remember you told me
Yep.
this when I first knew this, because at the wedding I had no idea any of this was
Yeah.
going on. But like just walk through that a little bit, like the actual place you were at and how somehow God gave you enough to like, yeah, just walk through that just maybe a little bit briefly.
Yeah, just because of, put it this way, after I asked her out or whatever, you told her she was going to be my girlfriend, Instantly. I mean, it was instant. The amount of I've always been an outgoing, super like
Yeah.
never ever depressed or down
Yeah.
ever, and the darkness that just like fell over my life, and including the voice of the Holy Spirit is being completely. It felt like it was completely shut off. For a long, long time. That was a really big struggle. So instantly you begin to wonder why.
Yeah.
Like,
Or is
clearly-
God in this?
Yeah, is
Like,
he in
I'm
this?
serious,
Clearly
yeah.
I heard wrong. Clearly this isn't supposed to happen. But yet we continued to walk forward. And fast forward into, was it February? February?
January.
When I bought my truck, I went up to Canada and bought a truck. And over that week, we had decided not to talk to each other. I think you'd come out for Bible school that year, right?
Probably.
If I remember right. Derek was out there for Bible school, and it was over that time we were discussing things because it was to a point. It's like we either need to get engaged and get married or break up, one of the two.
Yeah.
And so we I took a week or several days and started fasting and praying, and just basically God needs to give us both a clear answer before we can go forward. Because once again, his voice was like shut off. I hadn't hardly heard anything. And he answered, that was on a Sunday, I believe. I think by Thursday, I got an answer where God once again, very, very quietly, and it was through prayer, through meditation, through his word, almost like how he had the night that I went to ask her out, said, like, if you get married to her, like, I'll bless you. And no feeling hardly at all, but just like a sheer choice of, like, we were friends. We were really good friends, but not, you think of all the butterflies and all that couples had. None
Wasn't
of that.
what you
Wow.
thought it
No,
should be
not
potentially
at all.
to
So
get married.
right away you're thinking, like, if this is what it's going to be like, why do I jump into it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it was like leading up, right up to when we got right up to the day.
Wow.
The day of, thank God, it was not like that at all.
That
Quite
is
the opposite.
wild.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, it was because I remember, just a lot of times of like there was just it was just so weird. Like there was often like this tension almost, and like I knew I loved him. Like I didn't ever doubt that I loved him, but it was just always like it felt like everything good that we had to work and work and work and work for it. And there was definitely a lot of questions like, is this going to be a really big mistake? Are we going to get married and regret this?
Wow.
Like. I mean, if I had a friend come to me and be like, this is my situation, I'd be like, run for your life.
Get out of there.
And instead, y'all met at the altar.
Yeah.
Yep.
pretty much.
Wow.
But that's crazy. I mean, clearly God had a plan and a purpose for you guys to get together. Otherwise, you would not be here today. Because if you would have based it on just
Absolutely.
feelings or what you thought it should look like, it wouldn't have come this far.
Yeah,
And
no.
so that's pretty crazy to see, like, and even just trusting that word you had way back when about God saying this was the one and you following through on that. And then, obviously, as soon as you got married, there was completely easy from then on. There was, you guys walked into the honeymoon phase to the rest of the next 3 years, right?
First off, she started taking my socks off before we that was the first problem.
First red flag.
I'm kidding.
Poor
I'm
Tony.
kidding.
But
Yeah.
as most marriages do, you guys aren't unlike a lot of marriage. Especially when you first get married, you're learning a lot about each other. Your personalities
You
are
are.
very different.
Yep.
There's a lot of things you have to learn how to live together, what your habits are, how you do things differently. So obviously, you guys experienced a lot of that, and it was like a lot to get used to. But what would just be something that you guys would say that you've learned, advice or wisdom that has benefited you guys the most in this last 3.5 years of marriage, that you would like to share, either stuff you've learned or that you would want to tell other people?
Ooh. So something that my dad had told me before we got married, I was like, if you could give me one piece of advice, like what's something? And he just said, it's not about you. And I was like, ooh, that's really true. Because, obviously being married, like it does take a lot of selflessness. And once we got married, I realized, oh, I am really selfish. But I think even bigger than that is grace. Like give your spouse grace. Like you're both humans. And when I mess up, I want him to give me grace and to just give him grace as we grow and as we get to know each other, and like just give them that room for error, love them and forgive them, and just, I don't know, don't sweat the little things, have fun together, laugh together. Yeah.
That's good. We've heard a lot about the laughing together, how that's very important.
Yes, it is.
So, wow. Well, clearly you guys have come through a lot to where now, obviously I'm sure you wouldn't say your marriage is perfect, but probably the things you've learned about each other in the last 3.5 years and the ways you've learned how to give each other grace and how each other's personalities are and how to look at the good in those. There's been a lot of growth in you guys because from what
For
obviously you
sure.
can't judge by what you see on the outside, but from what you guys as a team bring to the community and church and your friends and all of that, it just seems like you guys have a lot of good in your marriage, and just very real too. Like you guys you don't try to put on a facade or anything like that, but it feels like you guys are just pretty real and and genuine, and you're just who you are as individuals and as a couple. And
Yeah.
it's really, really encouraging to see.
I appreciate that, but I'll I'll quote Dave Miller. It's by the grace of God. you know?
Classic Dave quote.
I'm serious. It,
No,
it really is.
is. That's
It really
fair.
is. It was a really big struggle. Right after we were married, we moved to Idaho. Very shortly after we got married. Well, right away technically, we got our house even before we were married over there. But and then moved back to Montana. And during that time, even was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah.
So you're right. It is a miracle that we're together, and it is by the grace of God that that we are here today and actually really love each other.
Wow, that's so
serious.
cool, man.
It shouldn't. Yeah. By all
that's awesome.
statistics, it
Yeah.
shouldn't.
On
should
paper,
not have
it
happened
shouldn't
at
have
all.
worked out.
No.
Wow.
But by
That's
not,
cool.
and by, I think this is so encouraging for people to hear that if it's hard, if it's tough, like you can, if you both commit to saying, we're not going to quit.
Yeah.
Like you're not giving
Yep.
yourself the option to get out. Like we're in this, and then you'd see, well, what do we have to do
Yeah.
to get there? What do we have to
Yes.
do to fight for each other?
Yep.
And that it is possible for it to be really hard and really messy and feel like, are we ever going to get to a place where we can feel like we make sense together?
Yeah.
But it is. It's possible if you
Yes.
both are willing to fight for it and you both care enough to put the other one first and all that. So I think you guys are a testament to that, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So really bless you guys
Thank
in
you.
that and continue on for sure.
Appreciate that.
I love it, guys. That's amazing. So kind of on the tail end of that, talk to us about, the journey is pretty wild, pretty quick turnaround from moving from Montana to here and Idaho, and just like that whole saga and how God directed you guys very much. So Tony, just both of you guys talk about that journey, how God led you here.
Yeah. So got married, like I said, end of May. Went on our honeymoon, and on the honeymoon, I was studying to become a certified flight instructor. One of the hardest tests in aviation. Got through that. Didn't pass. Like literally came home, went to Helena for flight training, and I think 80% of people failed
Yeah.
the first time going through that. And of
Wow.
course I did.
Also, you were studying on your honeymoon.
yeah,
That's some
it
dedication right there.
It was
Well,
It's like, love you, honey. Gotta study.
love you, honey. Catch you later.
So the reason for being a flight instructor specifically, normally guys do it to build their flight hours, you know what I mean, to where they can get at least a job and then go into the airlines eventually. And my goal was to go work for this guy over in Idaho and go fight fires flying, fighting fires. So we moved over there, like I said, and August 14th, I believe, I passed my check ride, went over there, got this job with the guy's name was Dave, and sat down with him, and finally, it's like we'd been talking for 4 years at that point of me coming over there and working for him. It's like, finally, this is here.
Yeah.
Got that behind, and a couple days later, woke up early one morning and very clearly 3 times heard the Holy Spirit tell me that within 90 days you're going to quit your job. And I was like, I haven't even started. Like I had not done.
It's kind of hard to
anything.
quit something you
Yeah.
haven't started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, and how am I going to tell Dave this? Because he's planning the next 2 or 3 years and
Yeah,
training,
you're
getting me
kinda
up to
committing to
speed.
him.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I obviously resisted that quite a bit, but 3 times very clearly you're going to quit your job. And so fast forward, I told the Holy Spirit, like in prayer, he kind of told me Spartanburg. Like I knew it was Spartanburg, South Carolina. Now, understand, I'd never been to Spartanburg. Didn't know any of you guys. I guess I knew Derek, but like
Did
didn't
you
really
have any friends in Spartanburg though?
know. John and
John-
Marley had
yeah.
just
Marley.
moved down here.
So that's pretty much
Yeah.
the only reason you knew the name Spartanburg.
Yeah.
Right? Or like
If
how? Or did that God just
even
put that name in
that,
your
if even
head?
that.
he had just put
Okay.
he just put
You,
that name in
you
my
wouldn't
head.
have been in our church or anything yet
No.
either, right?
Nope.
Wow.
So I prayed and just told God, okay, if you're gonna have us move, you're gonna have to find me a job, and I'm not gonna look for it.
Just gonna like close my eyes.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
was
no
not
pressure,
looking.
God, but if you want me to go, you got to figure it
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely. So because of that, 3-4 weeks later, John Byler calls me up. Which understand, John and I have known each other for years, but we weren't like close friends or anything like that.
sure.
So a call from him is kind of rare. He calls me up and just says, "Hey, I just started working down here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. He said,
That's
they're looking
crazy.
for pilots. You want to move?
No
Oh, my
way.
word.
I was like,
dude.
oh, brother.
That's crazy.
So I put up
You
a
were
whole
like,
bunch
okay,
more.
God.
yeah, you're like, all right, I think I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put up a bunch more barriers, told God, if you want us to move, you're going to have to find us a church. The company which are Phoenix Air Charters, who I worked for several years, I told God that if you want us to go as well, they're going to have to buy me a flight down there, a ticket to go down there. And it's got to be over such and such a date.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
wow!
In December.
So you really,
Really giving
you really
God-
narrowed
on
it
a
down
weekend.
there.
Oh yeah, I made it very specific.
Oh, okay.
And of course,
Really giving God
it all
some credit,
happened. It all happened exactly like that.
That's amazing.
So December we flew down, visited Foothills for the first time. Did not like it. Absolutely did not.
We
like
were
it.
terrible.
Wasn't vibing.
And during the service, or after the service, I guess, somebody came up to me, never met him before, and he just said, hey, I feel something that God wants me to share with you. And he shared just a little bit, and then he just said, I don't know what it is that you're seeking. I'm supposed to let you know you're on the right path.
What?
And I'm just like, okay, great.
Wow, that's wild, man.
So yeah,
That's wild.
that was December of 2019, I think.
Yeah.
And we went home, had some commitments at home, packed up, did Bible school, packed up everything, and a gentleman by the name of John Yoder, he's from Ontario, I believe.
Yeah,
or used
he
to
is
be.
now. Yeah, or Indiana, then Ontario, then back in Indiana now. I think.
Okay, yeah, I think he's in Indiana
think so,
again.
Yeah.
I met him and told him what we were going to be doing.
Yeah.
And because Dave Miller was out there preaching over the time as well.
Yep.
John just comes up to me. I just met him, and he just starts prophesying over the next, phase of life, and had no idea. The things he was saying were very specific.
Amazing.
And I looked at him in the end. I said, how in the world did you know all that? And he just said, it wasn't me that was speaking. It was somebody else. Like he was saying very specific things that I had in my heart. So it was too many signs that I knew that we both knew that if this is what we're supposed to do, it would have been disobedience to stay in Montana at that
Yeah,
point.
for sure.
So even though we didn't know anybody here, didn't want to leave home or anything like that, it was very clear. So
And Katie, were you feeling the same things?
Definitely. I mean, I struggled with it a lot just because when we first got married, I wouldn't have ever seen us leave. We were, both of our families are
'cause
there.
You're both from there. Your roots are there. Your families are there.
Like we were super involved in church, like all this kind of stuff. And I really struggled with it. And I was just like, oh God, why? Like, I just don't want to do this. And he just very clearly was like, no, it's okay. You can go. And after that, he just gave me such a deep peace about it. And I was like, even if it's, there's going to be hard, lonely days, like, it's for a reason. And I was able to just rest in that, even though the thought of leaving, and, my youngest sister was, 10 at the time. And, just like with my family kind of in that stage of life where my siblings are still growing up, I was like, this just seems so horrible to be this far away from them and miss out on so much. But, I mean, there was just such a deep peace there through it all. Like he said, that we just both knew that there was no doubt that this is what we're supposed to do and this is where we're supposed to be. So that definitely eased it a lot to just know that and know that we were where we were supposed to be.
Yeah. Dude, because that helps a ton. Even if it's not something you maybe want to do or you're not sure how it's going to be, if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's where you're supposed to be and where God wants you,
Yeah.
you just go because there's not peace otherwise.
Yep,
Exactly.
And then once
exactly
you're
right.
there, then God maybe shows you, reveals
yeah.
things, or helps things, adjust. But you want to be in the will of God, or it will
Absolutely.
not be a restful place. So that's huge, though, for a very newly married couple to move across the country to a place you didn't know. Kind of like who moved? Abraham.
Abraham.
Yeah, you guys know
Yes.
Abraham.
Yeah.
Abraham and Sarah.
Yeah.
Anyway, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're really grateful that God called you here because we get
sure.
to now, even though obviously God has done a work in you guys and has probably benefited you and blessed you in ways he maybe wouldn't have had you stayed out there. You've also been able to now pour out a ton to the community here. Like you're a gift to all of us as well, which is, we're so grateful for that. So, wow, that's crazy.
What a journey.
Montana to North Carolina.
Wild
and now do you
ride.
guys
Journey.
view
Yeah.
this as home now?
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super cool.
And until God calls you somewhere else?
That's right.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
We love a good, what are we both? We're not natives. We're
Immigrants.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
like immigrant story.
We're
Transplant. Yeah, transplant
Yeah, let's
story.
go with
Love a good transplant story.
Yeah.
Ambassadors.
There you go. Yeah.
So
exactly.
super cool.
Cool.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing about that, guys. I know there's tons more to your story, but that at
Yeah.
least gives us a little bit of an overview
Gives
of
us
it.
a little aerial view of your lives. So,
That's
you know,
right.
yeah. As many flying puns as I can put in there, I will.
Yeah.
It's a bird's eye
Very
view.
There you
It's
go.
a 30,000 foot view.
30,000 foot view.
30,000 foot view.
Oh my goodness.
It's a view from the wing.
Okay.
Was that Derek?
Okay.
Very cool.
Cloudy out here.
Well, alrighty. So we got a little fun segment here we're going to
Yeah.
go into. And
For all the lovebirds out there.
I know. Okay, guys, pickup lines.
Oh.
Yay or nay?
Yes.
Yay or nay? 2
I
yays.
feel like Tony wouldn't even use one. He wouldn't use one like, do you want to
Well,
do
he
this?
doesn't
Because
have
he'd be
to.
like, you are doing this
Yeah.
because of this. Like, his pickup lines would be so, like, demanding. Like, this
Yeah.
is how
They're
it
not
is.
questions, they're
Yeah.
statements.
Yeah.
You know what she told me though? She said what was very attractive is how confident you were.
Wow.
Even though it was to a line. Oh wait, she said it was arrogant. Pretty
Ah,
much.
see,
Yeah, there's a balance between confidence and
that,
arrogance.
like, how do
But,
you...
and I walked it perfectly.
You were on the
See
line,
what I mean?
toe stepping.
See, the thing is, though, like, if you feel like God, like, gives you, like, kind of, like, a word or something for that, I feel like that's where, like, I don't know, because just to be, like, confident, like, if you just do arrogance in your own self,
Yeah.
like, I feel
It's
like that's
cocky.
where it's, like,
Yeah.
it's cocky. It's not good at all. I don't know. That's a weird line to walk, but I'm glad you walked it, Tony.
I don't know if I did it all right, but
I feel like you did.
it worked out.
The confidence thing, if we would have more men that would be not arrogant and not cocky, but confident because they know who they
Yes.
are. They're not questioning that, which is 100% possible for every, not just male, but female.
Yes.
Every human can know very confidently who they are, what they're about, and walk that out. And I think that there's not a lot of, like, I'm not downing men. I think men are awesome. We need a lot of men out
You can
there.
call us
What
out,
am I
Jen.
saying?
It's fine. You can
No,
call us out.
and I am blessed to have a lot of men that I know that are very much walking in their calling. But there's a lot of men that I think are so scared to step out and do something, or to be a man, to lead, to be confident in who they are, what their giftings are, and step out and lead. And I just appreciate, so, like, within reason, obviously. But I appreciate that too. That's a very attractive quality.
Oh,
in
for
men.
sure.
Ben, if you're wondering why you can't get a woman, or if you're struggling or whatever,
Listen up.
Be like,
Preach it, Jen.
step out, like, step up and be a man and be a leader, and
Yes.
not a leader to try to lead a woman, but just a leader in your faith and to your
Sure.
communities, because that is what a woman is looking to. Because naturally, God designed you guys to lead, and He designed us to want to follow good leadership and team with somebody like that. So anyway, for what that's worth,
It's a good word, Jen.
That's a good word, Jen.
Fire me up.
I think it's so important too. Like when you're, if you do walk confidently, like also be willing. Like if you think you heard something, or like as a guy, if you feel like you heard this direction, or you pursued this person or something and it doesn't work out, don't take that as like, oh wait, now I shouldn't step out again. It can be pretty vulnerable. It
Yes.
can make you kind of gun shy to really step out again or put your heart kind of out there. But I think God takes us as men and as ladies, like, through things like that, to be like, what's our response in those situations? Am I still going to trust God? Am I still going to press into what He has, even if I maybe thought God was leading here, but then He closes that door, but there's another pathway there.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
yeah. So good word, Jen. All the
Yep.
men are fired up right now. They're about to ask somebody out right now. Just call her.
all of a sudden,
call her right
all
now.
the single people in our community
Yeah,
start
all of
getting
a sudden
married.
everybody's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
and to women
you
too,
look-
we let the men lead. Like, I think
Yes.
naturally, if a man doesn't, so for some reason, we as women, like, we just kind of will do it because we see something that needs done. So we'll step
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
and it's not really what we even want to do. But if there's no one there to do it, you know, so
Yeah.
we need to also let them lead and
Pro-
respect them when they do.
On piggybacking on that pro tip, if you're the girl and a guy offers you his seat, just take it. Like,
Please
even though,
do.
just
Yeah.
please take it. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't have to. Like, you legit don't have to. Men can, like, it's fine. But, like, it makes us feel so good to be like, you know what? It's not like they're these weak vessels that, like, can't sit on the floor. Like, that's not what it is. But it's literally like, if I could, like,
Yeah.
somehow
Chivalry.
give it is. Well, it's letting men, like, be a man of, like, you know what? If I could do this to make you more comfortable, oh yeah, I'm all about
Yeah.
it. So anyway, pro tip.
That's cool, and let them carry your bags if you need to. Like, I'm bad at that because I'm just like,
Sounds like, are you kidding me? I'm
like,
stronger than you are,
well, no,
little
I'll probably
shrimp.
be like, I don't know if you could carry it right, or like, what if you like tip it, or like something goes wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, let men be men when they're trying, and sometimes they're trying, and they're just getting started in that trying stage.
trying
they're
stage.
like tiptoeing out in
Really,
that.
yeah, or they're a little
And like,
timid.
if we
Yeah.
knock that right away, so if they start to try to do something to offer to be a gentleman or to do this, and it gets shut down, like, where obviously it's not on you for them to make bad choices after that, but yeah, it's like, give them that credit, like, encourage them in that, let them be that man in the little small ways, so that builds their confidence.
Yes.
Sure.
And let yourself be a lady, like, let yourself
There you
have the
go.
door open for you, and
There you go.
you know, picked up, not picked up. Your bag's picked up.
Your
There you
bag.
go.
Oh, swept up. Yeah.
If they try to pick you up, maybe say no.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Or green flag. I don't know.
Unless they use a pickup line.
You're right.
We heard back in
Anyway,
this segment.
that was a real bonus section that I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe it wasn't a bonus. I don't know.
No, I think people are gonna love that.
Someone needed to hear it.
Yeah, you're
Someone
right.
somewhere.
You're
Yeah.
right. So anyway, did you guys bring any pickup lines? We have some.
yes.
Oh, let's go. Well, Tony, kick us off, my
Tony, I
friend.
feel like Tony is the pickup line magician.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
was
Are
that? You
these?
said that you don't feel like I would use one. So.
Well, no, but
No,
his
you
would
have
be.
used him so confidently. You would have been like, "This is
Oh,
the big,
okay.
like."
Did you
Yeah.
did you write these on your own? Or?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
No, it's fine.
I looked them up. So.
Okay. All right. What you got, Chief?
You think I should start? I don't know.
Probably, we need you to set the
No,
precedent,
You're so confident. I think you need to start, Tony.
Yes.
and
All
then
right,
we'll
all
give you a
right.
rating. Then
Yeah.
I've got two of them here. I'm just trying to figure out which one should go first.
Yeah. That's fair.
So if you would walk up to a girl,
yeah,
And to
ideally,
say-
yeah.
well, this is for guys, so
Yeah. Right.
I guess a girl could do this. But this would be awkward.
Generally, they're for guys.
Yeah, this is for guys. So
Yeah.
I was reading my Bible and was wondering if you knew what Paul meant when he said to greet one another with a holy kiss.
Oh! Wow, that is forward. Oh, good heavens.
Let's
On
just
par
say it
for
worked.
Tony.
Cody's like, let's
just
test it
say
out.
it's 100% foolproof. Oh, Tony.
He's like, we're keeping it holy.
Oh, man. It's in the Bible.
Yep, it's biblical.
It's in the Word.
That's
Can't argue
perfect.
with the Word.
Have you did you use that one on Katie?
Never.
Okay,
Oh,
very
good
good.
heavens.
I wouldn't use
You have to be
pickup lines.
100% sure at that
Yeah.
point, bud.
Yeah,
That would
Yeah.
be bold times 10.
it would.
Yeah.
It would.
I feel like you might get slapped. That's
Yeah.
that's either like
Yeah.
a slapped or I don't
That
know.
or you'd actually get
Do or
into this
die, but-
long theological discussion about the holy kiss that you were not actually wanting to get into. You're like, girl, I just
That's
want to take
not
you on a
what I
date.
meant.
Yeah, girl, that's not what I meant.
She pulls
Yeah.
out the Bible and you start studying.
Yeah, you start studying together. Hey, that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
That's actually
You
a
know
good
it's
sign.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty funny. Derek, what would you give that rating?
Oh boy, I don't know. That one for me is probably a little over the top, but so
Oh, of course.
I'm
of
probably gonna
course.
go with like a 6 on that one. I'm probably gonna go with like a 6.
I'll go with like a 7.
Okay.
I'm big on
a little
boldness.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
Katie, what's
Oh,
your rate? What
boy.
would you rate that one?
Maybe like a 4.
Okay, all right, okay, that's
She's
fair.
like big not fan.
Tony, what are you giving
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we're gonna do 6.5. Obviously,
6.5.
I don't think I'd ever use anything like that.
You're
It's
right.
funny.
But I thought it was pretty funny.
It is
Yeah.
kind of funny though.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny. So cool. All right. Well, I got one for you guys. So, so you walk up and you say, "Hey, do you know what the temple veil and I have in common? We're both ripped." And you give him a little wink. Give him a little wink in there.
I love it.
Oh, dude. Jen liked that one so much.
I really like that
I
one.
know.
Oh
I mean,
my goodness.
honestly, like if you get one that makes a girl smile, I mean, that's
Yep.
that's a win in
I
itself.
like
so.
that's what I would want to use, but I can't really. It's not gonna like what
Jen,
kind of
you
a turn
could.
on is that to a
Yeah,
guy if a girl's
I'm-
like we're both ripped? He's like, I don't like that for a girl, but that's funny.
It
if
is.
a guy would
Funny.
say
I
that.
know.
And I
know.
really like that. Like it had me guessing where you're going.
Exactly.
right at
You
first.
don't
I'm
know.
I'm
You're like the
something's
temple
torn
veil.
here.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
we're both ripped.
Ripped. That's
Give him a little wink.
That's good.
I'd give that one a 9.
I think I'm a 9.5 on that one.
Yeah.
That
Wow,
one's-
okay,
I don't know
almost
because
a
it's
10.
scripture and it's funny.
It's
like
great.
it's a winner.
Yes.
Yeah,
What about you guys?
9.
no pressure. You can
Nine?
go, you can go
That's
lower.
Oh, man, we
good.
going-
That's a
I'm
good
way
one.
up there too.
Let's
literally.
go.
Can I go a 9.3?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
9.3.
he wants to
That's
be
what I was
different.
feeling.
Gang,
There you
gang.
go.
I
Wow,
love
this
it.
might be one of our highest.
That one's
rated-
slayed. All right,
rated
Jen.
ones. Okay.
Yep.
Who, me or Tony? Do you
I
want to do
don't-
your other one? Or Katie, you have one.
Katie, you got
Yeah.
one?
Go ahead,
Go,
Katie.
Katie.
It's a little dark humor.
Oh.
Whoa, Katie! I actually have a
We
real.
can edit it
I
out
have
if
a-
we need
I
to.
have a real opinion on dark humor, but you know what? We're gonna save that. Go ahead.
Save it till after you give yours.
You put the cute and persecuted.
Oh.
my!
Katie, persecuted.
out!
Oh.
You put the cute persecuted.
Wait.
I
Ouch.
don't know how to rate that.
I'm not even sure I understand that.
I don't
and
think
I'm
I can
confused.
rate that. That's like an NA on the rating. Oh my word, Katie!
Katie,
why
where
am I
in the
laughing?
world
I
are
feel
you coming
bad.
up with these things? I am scared.
Dark
That's-
humor's a weakness.
Oh, weakness. That's not as
Persecuted. I
not
feel like
as dark
that
as
would
I
not
thought,
pick
but
up
still.
anybody. They'd be like,
What? You're okay with persecution?
Oh my goodness.
I really like.
How do we even rate that?
I know. I don't feel like I
I'm
can
gonna
in
just
good
give
conscience.
it a. Yeah, I'm gonna give a.
I'm gonna do an NA.
Yeah.
NA.
Not what does that mean? Not applicable.
Yeah, something like
Something
just
like
there's no
that.
answer. NA. I don't know.
Or just not authorized.
yeah, not our, yeah, exactly.
We're not authorized.
Exactly.
You're not going to be trying that one on
Yeah,
anybody.
we're not going to be doing that one. There is one. I think we've used this one on the pod before, but you put the stud in Bible study.
Yeah.
That's
Like
good
that's a
one.
personal favorite.
Yeah.
Personal favorite of mine. But
He likes
yeah.
that one.
So
Wow.
all right, we're going NAs on that
Thanks,
one.
Katie. That was something.
All right.
That was something to hold.
So between you two, who do you think's got the better pickup line to end?
Oh, probably me.
Okay.
Just
You
my
got another one?
Just because my
She,
delivery.
she has another one. So do you
But
want
you
to
should end, Tony.
Ooh.
I mean, you should go now.
Go
sorry.
next.
All right.
And then if it's better than mine, I just won't do one.
Yeah, you're right.
So I always have to look at these and say what's appropriate and what's not.
It's the interview podcast. It
It's-
is real, raw, and relevant. We don't. Everything's
The
appropriate.
3 R's, real, raw,
Yeah.
and relevant.
There
Kind of
you
like
go.
the 3 F's.
Triple R's and triple F's.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So is it like
Yeah.
once again you walk up to a girl and you're
Okay.
like, girl, are you Joshua from the Israelite army? Because I'd totally let my walls down for you.
I like that one. It's not appropriate.
It feels inappropriate.
It could be, but it might not be.
Like emotional walls.
It's
Yeah,
true. It's
emotional.
Not
true.
like anything
It
went
just-
there.
It feels weird. It feels weird.
That's the point.
I like that.
I know. No, you're right. I mean, yeah.
Because
I
that's
mean,
the
yeah,
biggest
'cause you
thing that
can
men
put up
need to do
walls.
is let your walls down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them down.
Let them
Walls.
down. Just get them walls down.
I like that one, Tony.
Jen, why do you like that one
If
so
someone
much?
used that on me, I'd be like, "Come on, boy, let's go."
Done deal.
Yeah.
My walls are
Where's
down.
the ring?
Walls are down.
It's like how I
green,
don't
green
have to fight-
lights.
I don't try to get through those walls. Okay, sign me up. I'm too tired
No,
anyway.
that is a pretty good one. That
That's
is
funny.
pretty
I'm
good
gonna give
one.
that an 8.
I'll go 7.5. I'll go 7.5 on that one.
That one's definitely better. I'll give you a 9 on that one.
Hey,
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Well, that was better than mine.
I gotta hear yours.
Okay.
I
Let's hear
kind of
yours.
like this one.
All right, it's sweet. This one is
Okay.
sweet, and I could actually use that to a guy. Girls could
Yeah.
go to guys,
This
or guys
This
to girls.
is a real
Yeah.
melt your heart moment.
So you come up to a guy, especially with coming off of COVID, maybe like, "Are you a pandemic? Because you've got my heart on lockdown."
That's good.
So
That's
sweet.
good. It is.
Like I could actually use it. Hopefully, it wouldn't offend anybody about pandemic.
Oh
'cause,
my!
you
Well, if
know,
they're offended by that, you
canceled.
don't want them anyway.
Yeah,
you
probably
don't want them
canceled.
anyway, Jen.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but that's so sweet because
It is.
my heart is locked down for you.
My heart's on lockdown.
Anyway, so I'm gonna give that one
cool.
an 8.
Oh,
I'm
but-
rating myself high.
But hang on, I got a question for you if I can.
No.
If your heart's on lockdown, like
Yeah.
Oh,
remember we just talked about letting your walls down.
well,
right?
the lockdown for them.
Sorry,
So,
you've
like,
got my heart on lockdown.
You've got my
meaning
heart on
it's
lockdown.
locked
Ah, there we
down.
I'm locked
for
and
you.
loaded with
Perfect.
you,
There
not
we
not
go.
just in general, like
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah, you got to clarify that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
I
mean
knew
locked
that, but I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to
down.
No, that's a
clarify
good
that.
valid question.
Yeah.
Valid question.
So with that question answered, what are you going to rate that one, Tony?
I think I'm going to give that one a 7.
okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I had to process the number.
Just like that's good.
7 is
Like,
like a number
yes.
of perfection,
It
isn't it?
is the
Jen?
number of perfection.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but you're right.
Wow, that's funny.
Tatey. Tony and Katie.
I'll give it an 8, Jennifer.
That's my girl. I had her back earlier.
Nice.
That's why. Derek.
I'll go 7 on that one. No, I'll go 7.5. That's solid.
Hey guys,
That's
those are some
solid.
solid pickup lines today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
be honest. Honestly,
those were some
you're
real
welcome.
winners. Yes, you're,
To everybody
you really
out
are
there,
welcome.
because we were kind of coming up dry for a while.
A little bit.
Anyway.
People send quite a bit on our Instagram page and different people.
Yeah.
People even reach out to
send-
both of us personally.
Do you think some
like,
of your stuff's inappropriate?
Oh, good
Hey,
heavens.
listeners out there, you guys need to simmer down.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get a lot of
it's-
videos sent,
no.
like reels
Oh.
of people doing the pickup line,
Yep.
and it is as cringe as they come. But I love it. I mean, keep it coming because I do mostly laugh. Sometimes I'm just like,
But yeah,
oh,
you're like
help
you
me.
can't use them.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what
I
kind of
know.
who do you think we are?
Who do you think we are?
Anyway,
Yeah.
send them in though, guys.
Exactly. Cool, guys. Well, thank you for that. I think people find a lot of benefit from that. So hopping back into some more real questions
hope.
here. We hope. If not, just
we
laugh.
casually say people will find benefit from
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So, guys, let's talk a little bit about passions that you both share flying. So, how did both of you? I guess you've been one to fly. When did your love of flying start? How'd you get into it? And like, how much do you both currently fly? Because Katie, you fly too, and you do it for work. But like, talk about how you got into it, and then like how much time you actually spend flying these days, and what all you do.
So my dad is a pilot.
Oh yeah.
So I grew up flying with him. for, well, actually probably not until he kind of quit flying until he was about, I don't know, maybe I was probably 8 or 9. And so I didn't fly hardly at all until John Byler actually invited me down here to North Carolina. And I started flying again in 2013, got my pilot's license then.
Oh, wow.
And I've been flying ever since for the past 10 years.
And then I got into it obviously a lot more recently. Since we moved here, well, obviously he was doing it for work, and so he was flying nights a lot, so I'd end up going with him a decent amount of time, didn't have any kids or anything. And so, I don't know, we just kind of started talking through some of that, and he had his instructor rating, and we had friends with planes who gave us really good prices on rentals. Yeah, so we talked about it, and so that's what we spent a lot of time doing. And was that 2 years ago?
Yep.
Since we moved here, basically. Spent many hours. He was my instructor, helped walked me all the way through getting my license, all that good stuff.
Wow.
And now with a kid, I don't fly as much. The other day was the first time in over a year that I'd been up, but someday we'll have a little bit more time to just go and fly for the fun of it.
Sure.
But
And are you glad you did that? Like, are you glad you
Oh
got
my
your
goodness.
pilot's license?
Oh, yeah,
too?
absolutely,
'Cause
yeah.
you really love doing it, right?
yeah, it's a hobby that we share together, and I don't know, it's just a ton of fun to be able to go and it's something to do together that we both enjoy. And I don't know, just being up the other night, you're just up there above the world, and it's just so peaceful. And
yeah.
I don't know, you just kind of are up there doing your thing, and it's very relaxing, and I can almost turn my mind off, and and, all my worries are on the ground. So
Leave it there.
Yep.
That's cool. I think it's amazing that to see a couple that both fly. That's pretty rare, at least in my circles. That the husband and the wife can both fly. Like, usually if the husband can, he takes his wife up and she enjoys it. But the fact that you actually got your pilot's license, I mean, that's a word I won't say on the air, but that's really cool.
What?
It's
I'm
bad.
reeling right now.
I have zero clue what you're about to
Guys.
say.
Me too. I'm
When a
telling
girl
you.
does something that a man can do, you say that's something. But I'm not going to say it on the air. That's
Oh,
oh my goodness.
Got it. Got it.
It's okay. Derek still didn't get that joke about
I'm still off the
Philip.
Philip one. I got some hashing to do after this episode.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think I might know what you
it's
mean,
really
but I'm not
cool.
sure if I do. Anyway.
I'll tell you later.
Anyway,
But anyway, our poor
yeah.
listeners. So that's really cool that you guys do that, and something you do together. But also, Tony, for your job, that you can do it for that. And do you see yourself doing that for the foreseeable future? I know there's it's not like your number one passion that you'd want to do forever, but you do like it for now.
Oh, I love it. I don't really feel like I've had to work for the past 3.5 years.
Wow. That's a
Honestly.
good feeling.
It's-
I mean,
oh,
that's
it's
super
incredible.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are days and have
Yeah.
been days where it's just like, what in the world are we doing? Especially in the beginning. But
course.
not hardly at all anymore.
That's Yeah.
awesome, man.
It's been great.
And opportunities that come when the people you get to meet,
Oh,
the connections you
yes.
make through flying.
Yes.
Like, my brother's a pilot as well, and he's just said the things that can happen in that world
Yes.
of piloting,
Yep.
and then the people you meet to if you have clients and stuff. It's just crazy, connections you make and the opportunities you get to have that
Yeah.
you wouldn't otherwise. So that's cool, and you probably get to
it's been
experience a
incredible.
lot of things.
Yes.
So. Okay, well, take the interview Can we do an interview podcast in the air sometime?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
Like,
exactly. We
record
should.
while we're up
Literally
there.
live
While
on
we're
air.
headed
There
to
we go.
Key West or
Record
something.
at
Yes.
12,000 feet.
Yes.
Too easy.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so guys, tell us about a huge dream that you guys would have as a couple. If you have one as a couple, maybe you have individual dreams, but is there anything you guys have as a couple?
Absolutely. I would say one dream that we have had more recently than, I guess we haven't been together that long.
In the past,
Excuse me. Yeah.
12
in the past
months.
Yeah.
6, 12 months. No. One thing that we're seeing in our world today is a lot of attack on marriages, and especially obviously what we just shared with what we went through, and knowing that, young couples get married and it's supposed to be this big, honeymoon stage. And I'm not saying that it can't be, but I would way rather be living right now how we are than where we were, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
for
because
sure.
of that, we're starting to see a lot of divorce happen, and even with close friends, and it's and family, and it's shattering. It's heartbreaking. So to have a piece of property, basically, to where it would be used for other things as well, but where we have a lodge, where we would host events, and now that lodge could also be used for weddings and like a venue as well.
wow.
Sure.
But to have cabins on there, and biggest reason why we would want to do this would be for marriage conferences, basically.
Wow, that's awesome.
To build stronger marriages.
Yeah.
And once again, you're not going to be having a marriage conference all the time.
Right.
So in the
No,
off
but-
season, you know,
Yeah.
have it open for
Yeah.
whatever else, whether it's
Dude.
weddings or
Yeah.
just Airbnb in the place out, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that would
It'd be
be
multifaceted. You have
yeah,
so many
for sure.
opportunities.
yeah, you'd have so many opportunities
Sure.
and different things that you could do with the property. We started looking for land.
Oh wow! So this is
In
like
August.
a dream that you're trying to pursue, like in the near future.
We hope.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
In,
I hadn't
in
heard this
Montana
before.
or where?
So we do have property out there in Montana that I thought
Mm-hmm.
about doing it out there, but I mean it's a long ways
Yeah,
out
for
Yeah,
there.
sure.
a little bit
And
far from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking more in this area
So
or surrounding
potentially,
areas?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Unless
Dude.
God would just randomly call us back. there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love that.
Lord, you didn't hear that. I think he wants you here.
Hey, he does for now. No worries.
yeah,
no
exactly.
worries.
I'll let him.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let him lead.
So yeah, that is probably one of the main things
Dude, I
that we
love
would
that.
love to do.
That's awesome.
So
That'd be incredible.
I'm
I want to be married
excited
just so
for
I can
that.
go to a marriage conference.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
Hey.
crazy that that's your passion, being what you guys have gone through in your marriage,
Mm,
like the
mm-hmm.
hard stuff you've had to fight through. Like someone just told me recently, I know it's a very common phrase, but that God often makes your test your testimony.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another phrase too that you're like kind of basically taking your trials and stuff you've had to work through that's been hard is what He puts in your heart then as a passion to use to help other people in that same state or in that going through some of
Yeah.
those same things, and you're so much more effective
yes, you
when
are.
you do that.
Right.
And it's
You are.
like, not that I don't believe God puts those things on us on purpose. Like I want you to struggle, but struggles will come, and then He can say, "Well, you know what? This is not going to be for nothing.
He uses them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'll make you
exactly.
stronger, and now I'm
Right.
going to enable you guys." So
Absolutely.
the fact that marriage is something that you guys are passionate about and helping couples and stuff is like
Yeah.
incredible.
And I feel like, especially for young couples, because I just remember, so many times feeling like, is this all that we have? And, just praying to God, like, when we get out of this, like, excuse me, like, I will be willing to be open and honest about everything that, even in that, like, what we went through. And, like, if this can be used to help anybody else, like, you use our story. If it can, if it's something that another young couple can relate to, and like you don't, like when you're in that, you don't really want to be like, oh, I'm struggling. Like we're married for, 6 months and like things just aren't good. I'm like, you don't really want to go broadcast that because
Yeah.
people are like, you're supposed to
Got
like
some-
be in
Yeah.
a honeymoon phase right now.
Yeah.
And not having that, and you just feel so alone and so isolated. Like I'm the only person who's ever experienced this. And then, after, during and after talking to other people, like, no, you're not the only ones. And I think it's a lot more common than we realize, but it's just not really accepted
Yeah.
to talk about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so for
Wow.
us, like we've just kind of purposed to be very open about what we went through and like, hey, if this is what you're experiencing, this is not unusual. Like not every couple just gets married and it's not just all like great and glorious right away, but you can grow in that. And I feel like we kind of did it backwards, like to where now seriously, we love to spend time together. We get along better than we ever have. And I don't know,
That's awesome.
I'm very happy and very thankful to be where we're at today. And yeah, like Tony said, it's the grace of God that we are. And yeah, very, very thankful for it.
Ugh, you guys.
That's amazing, guys. That
That's
testimony.
inspiring.
That's super cool. I think what you said is so true though, Katie. Like the enemy wants us to think we're alone in these things. And
That's
even
right,
like
yeah.
but even what you two said, like it just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're not walking where God maybe has you, or doesn't mean you're less of a Christian, or oh no, like we can't be honest about this because people are going to see, oh no, they're not actually walking in faith, like because they're struggling. Like that's not the case at all.
No.
So just bringing light to that, and you guys' testimony with that is awesome. I know there's good things already that have come of it, and
Yeah.
Amen.
can't
Yeah.
wait to see that property and see everything
Yes.
going on there.
Yes.
That's gonna be
Bless
sick.
that vision and that dream.
It's gonna be sick nasty.
Well,
It's gonna be filthy.
I don't like that word.
No, Jen, when something is so good,
No,
Yes.
Derek.
it's sick.
Yes.
It's
I know,
like
but-
filthy.
Exactly
It's like
right.
gross. It's
Yep.
almost like
I
ooh.
know. Okay, I get it. I do
Do
get
you?
it. Yep.
Do you
totally
get it?
get it.
You
Okay,
need us to
Jen.
explain it all.
No,
No.
I don't think she gets
No.
it because she would be playing along if she got it.
But
so.
you guys should hire me for your to coordinate all your
Oh,
trust me,
I
yes,
thought
you're
about that.
hired.
Well,
Yep.
I thought
I
about it,
can't
but
if I can't be there as a couple.
should we
Derek,
prophesy, Derek?
Man, I wanted to say something again. Come it.
don't
Bite your tongue, Derek.
do it.
No.
Because I've helped with some marriage events at the ministry I work for, and it's crazy how I'm like the only single person at these events, but I'm learning so much from being there, and it's exciting to see how good like marriage can be. So that if that ever happens for me one day, like I just feel like I almost get a jump start because I get to hear from
Got all the
everybody
tools
else's
already.
stuff.
Yeah.
And also creating spaces for other people to have those experiences is something I really enjoy. So anyway,
Well,
see
you're
what happens.
hired.
You're hired. I love it.
Let's plan our first
You're
day.
hired.
So we don't have any
I love
land
it.
or anything to
We have
employ
nothing.
on,
First
but
employee.
we're ready. Anyway, I'm excited to see, guys, what God does with that. For sure.
Totally. Thanks for sharing that, guys. Appreciate it. So, as a young couple in ministry, what are some things you've learned and advice you would have to those who feel called to something or some kind of ministry but aren't maybe sure what steps to take? How much do you avail yourself? How much do you wait and let God? Obviously, you want to be directed by God, but talk a little bit about your journey with that, and if somebody's feeling that draw, pull, how to walk in that.
Yeah, so there's a story out of the Old Testament that I like to refer to regarding that and what we have decided, and it may change as seasons change, but we've decided that this is what God has used for us to call us to whatever it might be, is that the story of David, when he was anointed as king and then he was sent right back to the pasture. He didn't go to the palace, and he had to stay there and perfect the gift that God had placed in his hand. And then when the evil spirits were tormenting the king, they knew that David was skilled with whatever he was working with, and they called for him. So the word would be like, you don't have to go looking for it, like they will call for you. And I know that might not be for everyone, but we have lived with that, is that if it's a sign to us from God, whenever he calls us to anything, like we're not gonna have to pursue it, in the sense of, that doesn't mean sit back and be lazy necessarily, but like we're not gonna have to go and be beating down doors and saying, hey, you know, pick me,
Like
pick
force
me.
yourself into a position.
Don't force yourself into it. Like they will recognize the gift in you that God has placed in your life, and they will call you. And so that's what we've lived by for the past 4.5 years.
Dude, that's so crazy that's exactly what you say, because when I think about you guys moving here and just the things that you've already so quickly been called up to, it is pretty much what you just said, is most of these things, because you're involved in ministry in the church, you're in the pastor apprenticeship preparedness. Big word girl over here.
Something like that.
Yeah, pastorship, apprenticeship. You're a worship leader and one of our worship leaders on the team. You guys just took over being part of the youth group as youth leaders, and you also are helping with Revivalist Ministries as the small group leaders. I mean, hello. Plus, you're working a full-time job and mom and dad of a little baby. And something that when I think about you guys and ministry, what you just said is pretty much what I think about when I think about you guys, is you guys didn't look or seek after, I don't think, any of those opportunities or roles.
No.
Because you literally just came and you lived faithfully and were following the Lord and living out your Christian life for him. And that was so quickly seen and sought after in you guys because you were being faithful.
Wow.
And all of a sudden it's like you're so wanted in these things because clearly God is in you, ready to flow out, and you guys have been faithful and not moved in saying, okay, give me this job. I want to be the worship leader. I want to do this. All of a sudden you're there because you said, I'm right. Like, you were so faithful in your walk with the Lord that when the call came, you were ready and you didn't have to go looking for it. Literally what you just said.
Yeah.
And so you guys have lived out the advice you just said about waiting for the call to come by just being faithful. It's just crazy to see, because I remember thinking before I really got to know you guys, seeing you on the stage that Sunday, I was like, how did he get there so fast?
Man, that was quick. Yeah.
Like, how does he all of a sudden up there? And it's like, that kind of stuff, God does not entrust you with more until you're faithful with what you have.
Wow.
And I've learned that in my life personally, of like, there's things I'm like, I want to be here. And I'm like, but he can't trust me with this small thing.
Yep.
And once you start doing that, I will attest to the fact that all of a sudden, like, these random like opportunities will start coming that you're like, I always wanted to do that, but I never thought that I thought I had to try to go after it myself. But you don't have to.
Yeah.
And you be faithful, and the things that you know God has put on your heart, do those faithfully on your own and just
Amen.
live for him, and those opportunities will come, and then you just basically flourish in that. And
Yeah.
it's crazy to see that you guys do that. And every time, you're on the mission board too. I forgot to say that.
Oh wow.
We are on the mission
yeah.
board, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, Tony, and Katie all
There you go.
are all on that.
Nice.
But it's crazy. It's
Gang,
like every time something comes up, it feels like hey, who would be a good fit for this position in the church? Tony and Katie.
Oh no.
And
wait,
it's
they have
like
30,000
they can't do
things
everything,
going.
but yet
Yeah.
somehow it's like you guys are the people looked to because you're trusted by the Lord in what you can be asked to do, and people around see that, and it's like,
Yep.
whoo, it's super cool. Like, what a testimony. So bless you guys in that. And like, yeah, there's so many things that you guys are gifted in and called to.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you. I'm serious. Sometimes it's difficult to see it from that perspective on this side, just because you begin to question in the middle. You know what I mean? From the pasture
sure.
to like you begin to question, like, God, is this actually what you're calling us to? Is this the direction you want us to head in? And so I appreciate you speaking that.
Yes, thank you.
We receive it.
Absolutely.
But then how do you say no to stuff? Like, I mean, you guys have so much on your plate right now, and I believe you've accepted these things, knowing your time, knowing what you have energy for, what you're passionate about. But like, let's say that there's people that are feel like they're called to things, and they're being asked to do so many things because they're being faithful. Is there a point though when you need to know, okay, I don't have the capacity to do all these things well, and when is it okay to say no to a good thing?
Yeah, that once again is going to come back to so many different things. But the main thing that I would say is, does the peace of God flood your life when you think about that decision? If you're asked to do something, we were asked to join a couple of different ministries locally here, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I instantly was like, yes, let's go. Like, this is what we feel like we're called to do. But the peace just like, I don't want to say it was gone, but it wasn't, like I shared with somebody else, it wasn't a red light and it wasn't a green light. It was like, it was,
Sure.
in between.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we had to say no, even though I didn't want to. Neither one of them, like, I didn't want to say no at all. And so you just have to be very aware of what the Spirit's saying. And if it's a
obedient.
green light, run.
Sure.
Run towards it. That also being said, I will say, obviously, since we've had Tekoa, there's an element of, I'm not going to, I hope that we would never, ever put our family, including, me as a husband, never put my wife on the back burner or on the side. I heard a quote many years ago that said, for those of you who know gospel music, George Yance,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know
bass
him.
singer for the
Yeah.
Cathedrals,
Yippers.
Yep.
he said that when the lights are burning brighter on stage than at home, then you're in trouble.
Oof.
And I never forgot that.
Wow.
So,
That's good.
Old
It's good
George.
to live by.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a good word.
That makes a
good
lot of
word,
sense.
Tony. Good word. Man, yeah, wow, a lot of good insight there, guys. I'm very excited. I think what Jen was saying, just your natural, letting flow what God has and not pushing for stuff. And even, I can't help but think, but if you feel you're called to a position or something, like you could maybe avail yourself to like leadership, or like even for you, Tony, like you could be like, hey, I kind of feel God leading me in this direction, or
Yes.
maybe be a part of worship team. But what is you all sense? What is
Yes.
God telling you here in this instance? I think it is so important to do that, because even if you have a strong sense, if you don't trust God enough to give the leader, that's honoring authority. That's honoring the position. So even just being like, hey, I'm feeling this is the sense. What is God showing you? Does this feel right? Does this feel wrong? And trusting God's timing with that, and just availing yourself to that. It's such a peaceful place to walk.
And I have to say for Tony as well, like one thing he's really good at with these is he's got a lot of mentors or trusted people in his life that it's like, hey, we had, this opportunity, or like,
Sure.
just asking a bunch of different people, outside of us, like what, like you said, what do you sense? What do you feel?
What is God showing you?
Yeah, like and that's been really valuable for us, is to just have that insight. And, I mean, that's helped make some of those harder decisions, like he was saying, where it's like, do we do it? Do we not? Like, you don't really know,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of in this in between place of having someone else's wisdom, or having someone else speak into those situations.
Yeah. Somebody God is speaking to.
Having
and
this
Yes.
That's
that
awesome.
army of believers around you to lean
Yeah.
on and
Absolutely.
trust their wisdom and what God's telling them. That's smart too, to have that, not lean on your own understanding.
Yeah.
There you go.
God's obviously is the
God's-
one, but
yeah, exactly. No,
but
there's
other people around you
safety
too that
in
you
that.
trust.
Safety
Yes.
in that.
Yeah.
So, love it, guys. Very cool.
Cool. Well, it's getting hot in here.
It's getting really hot in here. We're going to need to turn it down. We need to turn it down. It's getting hot
Because we
in
know
here.
what time it is.
We know what time it is.
There we go.
It's hot take time.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
We really need to have like a it's hot takes time or something. Like I still need a button. I still
We
want
could,
a button. that
well,
I
we
need
could
to
put
hit.
it in post edit. We could
We
stick something in
could.
there.
There you
Anyway,
go.
guys.
I want to
it's-
have a button on the spot though. That's way cooler.
He liked that. Anyway, guys, it's time for a few hot takes.
Yep.
You guys know what those are, correct?
Absolutely.
A little bit of
Let's roll.
controversial opinions about things. And we all have them. And
Yes.
as long as we keep it kosher in here, don't get too worked
We'll see.
up.
We'll see.
As she
pretty
looks
good.
at Derek.
As she looks over here like Derek, what are you about to say? I have
it's
something
not
that would
really
light
me
you
and
up like a
Derek.
Christmas tree, Jen. So we'll see.
I don't know about that.
We'll see. We'll see if I go there or not. But,
Anyway, we like to let our guests go first with these hot takes. So, do either of you guys have one, and who would like to start?
Speaking of Christmas trees.
Oh,
No.
whoa.
Here we
Oh,
go.
dear.
Oh,
She's like,
it's meant
my
to
hot
be.
take.
Yeah,
It's meant
yeah,
to
yeah.
be. All right,
Okay.
Katie.
October is not too early to have your Christmas decorations
Oh.
up.
Okay.
Or to listen to Christmas
Okay.
music. None of that.
Katie.
No. Oh.
Katie Miller.
Katie.
You are not allowed to. I'm very
Oh,
passionate
my
about this.
goodness.
Christmas trees may not go up until after Thanksgiving.
Preach it.
Okay.
I-
100%. If you
I
have it up in
would-
October, I'll burn it
yes.
down.
Don't come to
physically
my
come
house,
I
towards
invite
Jen.
you to my house.
Whoa.
I got insurance on it.
Torch that thing.
Because Katie, what about Thanksgiving? You are taking away from Thanksgiving and
are.
thanking the
No.
Lord
Well,
before we hit the Thanksgiving Christmas season.
just feel like-
You can do
I love you,
both.
Katie, but I disagree.
Well, do
Katie.
you not love Jesus? Because it's longer
Whoa,
to
whoa,
celebrate
whoa,
him, you know?
Whoa,
Wow.
You're saying, whoa, Katie, careful.
Why do we
celebrate
only
him in
give
my heart
Jesus a
every day.
month?
Careful.
We only give Jesus one month.
now,
I think he
you can leave
deserves
your
like
tr-
3.
Leave your tree up from December to February.
See,
That'd be my hot take.
I mean, I
See,
do that
no,
too.
Yeah.
see,
Um,
I would disagree. I would rather you have it up early than have it over like
But before
through
Thanksgiving?
January. That feels
Before
awkward.
Thanksgiving, though, like
I don't know.
How do you feel about
Yeah,
that?
before Thanksgiving.
'Cause it feels like not.
I'd be like right after. That's
Yeah,
where I'd
it
be
makes
at.
it feel so cozy. Like you're in there
It's
eating
true.
your delicious Thanksgiving meal, and like the tree's just there, and it's like got
Oh,
this
no.
warm glow. It's
Wow,
amazing.
she's
Well,
actually kind of
No.
convincing me right now.
Okay, call it a
I kinda
Thanksgiving
want
tree.
one.
Do you want to come over for Thanksgiving,
You have to-
Derek?
I mean, I
you can
do.
experience
Oh,
it.
okay.
You have to
As long
put
as
up
you have a
Thanksgiving
tree.
ornaments then. You have to
Oh.
put up like
I mean-
pumpkin pies and thankfulness.
You know, I mean-
I don't know. How do we be thankful? the thing I don't like about it, I don't think your heart would be this, but what I don't like is a lot of people for Christmas, it's about like gifts, getting gifts. It's a little more greedy.
Sure.
And so
all
to me,
about
I'm like,
me.
when we put that up before we have Thanksgiving and focus on being thankful for what we have, not about
And you're like
it.
looking over at your gifts or your potential gifts. Yeah, that's fair.
But
that's
that's
fair.
not your heart, Katie. Your heart's just for the cozy ambiance it
Yes.
gives. So I can give you a pass.
What about this,
Thank
Jen?
you.
So Christmas tree up, no, October, November, just no gifts under it. Make sure you have it there for the right reasons. You good with that?
It would be called a seasonal tree.
a
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
tree.
tree.
I'm okay with that.
Oh no, I
I'm
don't trust
honestly
me.
okay
There's
with
not
that.
gifts
But I'm
under
still
it
not
until
okay with it.
probably like 3 days before
It has
Christmas
to
because
be.
we procrastinate.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
not
know,
because they want you to.
Yeah, at least your
It's because we literally shot 3 days before.
That's right.
Yeah,
at least
you're
your
right.
procrastination helps keep it legit.
That's
True.
true.
But yeah, I will set up we had a tradition in my home where we would decorate for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving,
I mean,
like
that's
Black
cool.
Friday.
That's cool.
Because it was usually we were all off work for Thanksgiving, and then Friday we did that, but never before. And I will stick to my guns on that forever and ever.
Fair. I love that everybody can do exactly what they
I am
want. though.
excited to put a poll up
That's
on
what
this,
I like.
especially when your episode airs. When this is airing, it'll be a little bit closer to Christmas. It'll be in October, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that
so my
will,
tree will be up.
Yeah,
Ah,
your
so
tree. Well,
Katie's
maybe
tree will be up. We'll see
maybe we'll
who
take a
else's
picture.
tree is up.
Unless Jen
Yes.
burns it down.
Yeah, honestly.
There's a before with the
Don't
tree.
give me a
Are
match.
you around this? Oh, you're going. No, you're leaving. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, we could have a bonfire this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, to burn trees.
Tony,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we normally burn is trees, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Not
It's
this
wood.
kind of
Burn the
tree.
Christmas
Not this tree.
We'll do a poll on that.
Yeah.
Maybe take a picture of your tree,
Yes.
Katie.
Sounds
Is this okay
good.
to
Send
be
it
up
over
right now?
and be like, is your tree up or not? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's a
Right.
controversial
Right.
topic.
Oh, I know it is. I get a lot of.
I
get a lot of hate for it, but it makes me happy. So
That's good.
Yeah, I'm all about
Is
making
that
you
where the
happy.
persecuted comes back? in?
Yeah.
Oh, good gracious.
How cute.
Good, Nido. Don't remind me. I do
Nice.
agree. It creates a nice, like, when the lights are low and there's Christmas lights on the tree and just in
Yeah.
the living room. And that's
Derek
kinda,
likes romance.
I mean,
See,
Somebody hit him
I
up.
just like,
Derek,
yeah.
you will be allowed to come over. I don't know if I can trust Jen by my tree before
You're right.
Thanksgiving.
You're right. You're right.
Don't worry about what I have in my pocket. Matches, lighters.
Just flamethrower in my back.
Jen comes over and it's like, wait, why
Lighter
is my
fluid?
house on fire?
Yeah,
Just a tree. I just start
Just
marching
a
out
tree.
back with the tree on my back. Where are you going? I don't know.
Right.
Campfire.
oh man, cool. I like that one.
That's good
That's a
because
good
that's
one.
controversial.
That's a good one.
Tony.
All right, Tone, what
Any-
you got?
Oh
Tone.
boy. So back to I don't know if we've talked about food at all here tonight, but I think that
Not
soy
really.
sauce belongs on Mexican food.
Oh,
I
whoa.
absolutely
Whoa.
love soy
I don't even
sauce
know what
on
that means.
almost
Wait,
everything.
soy sauce is good on like
Everything.
nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a soy sauce guy at
Oh, come
all.
on.
I'm an anti-soy sauce
Wait,
guy.
isn't soy sauce more for
Switch
like
it with sushi.
ramen and
Switch it with
Yes,
sushi, right?
yes, it
And-
is.
so
But
it's
yes.
see, even with
so
sushi, I don't
Mexican.
like it.
It's not even a part of the Mexican.
Not even
repertoire.
close.
I would
No.
maybe almost like it more with Mexican than I would with sushi. I don't even know. I just don't even think soy sauce is that good.
The only thing I
It
like
is the best thing in the
Oh,
world.
Tony.
I will
Disagree.
eat on everything.
Disagree.
And he will too.
Really?
It's pretty.
Interesting.
It's pretty disturbing. Like this is good, but you know what it needs? soy sauce.
you know what would
I'm like,
enhance this 10 times? Soy sauce.
like I'll make stir fry on purpose, put plenty of soy sauce, and
Okay,
he's still like,
stir fry
need
would
more
be good
soy
with soy
sauce.
sauce.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
But
I
it's
can
never
kinda get along
enough,
with that,
so-
but it's
like,
never enough.
I
Belongs
dip
to
like
Tony.
edamame. You know what that is?
No.
Whoa.
Oh.
No.
What is
Okay,
well,
edamame? Jen,
It's like peas in the
It's
pod.
soybeans. in the
Sorry,
pod.
not peas. I don't
Yeah.
even know what it is. I love them, but I thought it was peas. It's beans, soybeans. They're in the pod and they're really salty. You get them as an appetizer,
Okay.
and then you dip them in soy sauce, and then you like I don't like the
Oh, yeah,
you
no, I know.
slurp them.
Yep.
slurp them out.
Slurp them out, and you like get the
Slurp
salt
'em
on
out
the
of the pod.
outside,
Yeah.
and you eat the bean on the inside with the soy sauce.
Yeah.
That's the only
Edamame?
edamame.
Edamame.
But the only thing that makes that good is the soy sauce.
No, it's the salt, but yeah, but soy sauce is pretty good on that. But that's
Interesting.
about all I would eat it on.
Wow. You know, that's all right.
I also didn't know. Fun fact: you guys need to eat edamame. You need to do what I just said. Like you don't eat the outside.
Oh,
Well-
did you the first
So
time,
you did
Jen?
it wrong.
I was
You
trying to be.
chomp
I
on
was
it?
trying to be classy the first time
I love it.
I
You
ever
just
ordered
chomp
them.
down on it?
I am absolutely crunching down the shell, like, and it's like really stringy and it's hard
It's
to
very
swallow.
stringy.
Oh, Jen.
Yeah.
Bless
So
your
I'm just
heart.
like swallowing. I'm like, man, it's like
Wow.
this is kind of tough.
Is it
to
always
eat.
like this?
The
More
waiter?
soy sauce.
Jen's like, I
waiter
got a
comes
bad
and-
batch.
Yeah.
with my
Hey,
sister.
a waiter. These are a
was
little
like-
stringy. Ma'am, you don't eat those.
I literally Googled it. I was like, how to eat edamame. After I had about 6 of them down, I was like, I need to
Six
stop
deep.
this.
I'm like, something's not right.
Anyway, so don't do that.
That
but
is
yeah.
funny.
Okay, well, soy sauce, I
Okay.
guess. Love
Soy
it or
sauce
don't.
it is.
Love it or don't.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, Derek, do you have anything?
Let's do yours,
Yeah.
then I'll see how
Okay.
I'm feeling.
Okay, so this is mine, and you guys might agree with me. I want to do this with someone that's on the other side of it because I know some friends, but I don't know if we'll ever
Oh.
have them on. So, okay, my hot take that I'm very passionate about. Okay, people that have military time on their phone need to absolutely.
No.
Does Katie have it?
Yes.
Whoa!
Listen.
1019.
Yeah.
Katie Miller.
And it is
Listen.
currently
I think
8,
that the
7,
people,
19.
unless you're in the military and you need it because you need
No.
to know this,
No.
or maybe if you're a pilot, I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
you
So
go.
maybe
Yeah.
this-
so okay.
But okay, if you're not, I'll let you talk in a second. Hold on. If people that are like my friends, I'm like, oh hey, what time is it? Or they like hit on their phone because they're like, oh, I wonder what time it is. And I'm like,
13:25.
1962. I'm like,
That's
is this
62.
the
Listen.
62.
is this the year
Oh,
or the
man.
time?
Okay, listen.
I get
62.
guys,
That
I
would
get
be 20.
I get
yeah,
so
that would be
annoyed. I'm like,
22.
I'm like,
22.
you are not
That's
cool.
funny.
Put
You
the
are not
regular time
cool.
on there. Stop
You're
being,
not in the military.
Like,
You're
don't
not
be
a Green
extra.
Beret.
Because people are like, oh, I got military time on my
Look,
phone.
but
I'm
the
like,
easiest
wow.
way to do it
Flex.
is like you just you
Congratulations.
subtract 2 from the second number. So like right now it's
my brain
7,
fell asleep.
So subtract 2 from the 9.
From the front number. It's
2,
not
9
it's not
Yeah.
actually that
So
hard, Jen.
17.
No,
7 o'clock.
subtract 2
7 o'clock.
from the 9. Like
So
just-
I,
It's
well,
actually
but then
Jen.
and then get rid of the one.
Then get rid of
Yeah.
it.
So that's
but-
2 steps.
But yeah,
Jen,
like
you don't
for-
have to get rid of the one.
I'm just
Obviously,
saying.
it's not
Yeah.
17 o'clock.
I'm
I mean,
just
it could
saying.
be,
Yeah, exactly.
Jen, it's not that hard.
I'm just-
Again,
It's really
1762.
Okay.
the year of our Lord, 1762
I'm just saying
AD.
that.
AD.
Listen. I'm just saying.
I just feel like you
how easy is
overcomplicate
this?
it.
720.
It
I mean,
is
it's-
true.
Way easier.
Way easier. And so
I'm
if you
so
can
used
just
to it
we,
now
like,
that
we
it's
live
not.
in
Right.
the new ages to where we have it so clear, and yet some people are like, nope, gotta get. I really want to know what's going on in the military. Because they'll have their time. I don't know.
That has zero bearing. The military.
Yeah, but they're like,
what
I want
they're doing
No,
in the
I know, but they're gonna. They want to be. I want to be on the same level. I want to feel like a militant woman. Like,
Okay, but it
I just
has
think
helped
it's
me
silly.
because You've probably done this too, where you accidentally set your alarm
Yes.
for AM instead of PM. So there's
Never.
no
What?
guessing.
No, you
Never
just
done
How have you?
that?
I've done.
it.
I
Do
used
you
to do
ever
that,
set
and
your
then
alarm?
it's on.
You've done that
every
though.
day. No.
You've
I
never
haven't.
have in your life.
No, because
I doubt
guess
that.
what? With my
Doubt.
Android, fun fact about them is it will tell when I set my alarm. Maybe yours do too. But you hit set, it says alarm set for, and then it tells you the amount of hours till it's going to go off. So there have been times where I didn't look at what I was doing, and I hit to set, and it said alarm set for 27 hours from now. I was like, oh, whoops, that's wrong, and then I
Gotcha.
changed it. So I actually have never made. I guess I have clicked that, but because of my amazing Android phone, it always,
you want a real hot
always,
take?
always takes care of
I don't
me.
even want to get into that
no.
conversation.
Anyway, but yes,
I don't.
Katie.
We don't need to prove anything
For
Tony.
the people
Yeah.
You
that
don't got
have
anything
trouble
to prove.
with that, I
It's these
guess
Android
it
users that need
would.
to flex on people.
It would maybe make sense for that, and maybe for pilots. So you
Well,
guys
it was
do I don't know
confusing
what you
enough
guys
because
do.
like everything's military time, like when I was studying or whatever. But then
Yeah.
everything's also in Zulu time, which is what,
What's
Based
Zulu?
off of Greenwich, England. So
which is universal for aviation.
universal, yeah. So like we don't even use there's military time, local time, and Zulu time. So like
we
literally,
need to combine these.
What
Yeah,
is
it's
how is
Seems
Zulu
excessive.
different than military time? Like,
it's
what
way
is-
different. Right now, it's technically
Is it just a couple hours different?
way
Yeah.
different
Okay,
depending on.
but it's
yeah,
still like the
it's 4
19.
hours.
It's still based on the 24-hour
yeah,
format.
it would be. What is it?
It's-
19, 21, 23, 22 right now.
Oh, so you'd have to subtract a lot
You
more.
have to subtract 4,
Oh,
and
okay.
then time change, you subtract 5.
Gotcha.
I wanna cry.
Oh,
Yeah.
sheesh.
Well,
okay.
because when you fly across so many different time zones,
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
right. You have to. Yeah. That
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So for
So we just use
military
it
and
for
for
that.
pilots, I
That's
will let
allowed.
it slide.
If you're
Anybody
not,
else? Cheryl and Troy.
Get out of it. Whoa, whoa! Shots fired.
I
Call
called her out.
her
We're
right
just shouting out our
out.
friends,
Yeah.
putting them on
Shots
blast.
I
fired.
love Sherilyn so much, but we got to get rid of that military time.
No, I respect
Add-
it.
add
Keep
Katie
it.
to your list.
No, Jen. Here's a quote for you. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better.
Oh,
That is the
Reagan Rock.
stupidest quote. Yeah,
That's a Reagan Rock
Oh.
quote.
but it does not apply to this.
Yes, it does.
No,
Jen,
because if you're better,
it's so easy to
you
learn.
think easier or work
Simpler.
hard, work smarter, not harder.
Simpler is the word you're looking for.
Work smarter,
Simpler.
not harder. So don't
Simpler.
make it harder to try
Jen,
to learn
it's not
stuff
even
to be
that
Jen, it's
better.
hard.
not.
Jen,
It's
the thing
better
is,
by easier.
you're overcomplicating it. It's actually very easy to understand.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
It
actually
is.
very easy. Whenever you hit
Yeah.
whenever you hit 13, you
I
just
don't-
subtract 2.
The last thing I want to do is be explained to right now how to tell military time. The thing I am fighting
We're
against.
trying
knowing.
to make you better.
No,
Yes,
I
we're
how
calling
to tell
you
it.
up.
Well, then
I know
what's the big deal?
I think it's unnecessary.
I do hear
100%
that. I
necessary.
do hear that.
Because it's like,
I do hear
why
that.
would, especially in the day and age we live in, there's so much to learn and know and keep up with. My brain space, limited. Not because I'm dumb, just because I have a lot going on in there.
Are you not exercising it enough?
Too much. Too much. No, too much.
Oh,
Tony.
no. 'cause, like, we only use
So-
10% of our brain
Tony,
capacity.
Tony,
so.
Well,
I
I'm
think you're
using
spitting
15. So anyway, maybe it takes 15 to get the
Never
10
mind.
Oh,
result.
my word.
I won't even go
In any
there.
case, I'm just like the things that we can be simpler in life. I'm like,
Yeah,
do that.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally
I
fair.
think the reason why that is for people like you is just because androids are so hard to figure out.
oh really?
And yeah, so
They're-
Yeah, my
more
grandma has an
complicated in
iPhone, so
general.
I'm glad that you at least are on that level.
hey,
The iPhones they created for the ones that are struggle a little bit to learn. So
Jen,
smarter,
you're the
not
one
harder.
struggling to
And
learn
then the
military
other- no, I
time.
know
don't
it.
want to
I
hear
just
it.
don't wanna know.
I don't want to hear it. No, that's not a no.
I'm just saying, someone one time told me, they said, yeah, we created iPhones so that older people can use it. And so I just stuck with the Android because
Hey.
brain space.
Brain
Anyway,
space.
whew,
Brain,
guys.
brain
All right.
space and your lame emoji.
Fair enough.
right.
No,
That's
I
true.
cannot stand iPhone emojis.
Oh,
they
my,
look
they're way
so goofy.
Nah, but
Yeah.
the Android ones look like generic.
Android
and
ones
like,
are so
Totally.
nice.
Literally.
It's like
Totally 1960s.
Walmart.
Yeah, very old. Haven't been updated in about 30,000 years. It's okay, Jen.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I don't even like to have that discussion anymore. So, okay. Cool. I'll throw mine in there real quick. So, I honestly think chapstick is a scam and that it's literally just something you become dependent upon.
Jen, are you feeling called out right now?
As Jen
putting
puts
mine on right
Go
now.
ahead.
chapstick
Go ahead. Put it on. Be addicted. That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm fine. Jen, I'm just saying, if you think about it, like, I'm pretty sure there is times where your lips get chapped. You need a little bit, couple days. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
Then get off of it.
Absolutely.
Like, because then some people, you literally have to have it.
I'm
right?
addicted.
So,
yeah,
okay.
I don't disagree with
So-
that hot take, but I'm addicted now, and so I need it. And
There's
you
no
use it all the
going
time?
back.
oh yeah, I probably put it on 20 times a day.
No.
Like, so it's like for me, I'm like, do you not want to like not do that? Like,
Yeah,
isn't there a
I
better
tried.
way?
I went off it for 5 days one time. literally the worst 5 days of my
But
life.
couldn't you just get
Did
over
your
that?
lips crack?
Get over that hump.
They swelled.
They swolled.
They swelled.
They swolled up.
Just
They
Looked
swolled
like
up
I had
so bad.
lip injections. No.
Oh well.
They swelled and they hurt and they were so dry and it was like I can't do this. So I had to go.
I'm
back
not
to
trying
it.
to make
Well, I
you
mean,
go
there
through
could-
pain, Jen.
no.
I'm just trying.
But like I'm at the
long-term
point where
to-
like I can't talk. 100% agree. I still can't say it that chapstick is addictive because the properties they put in it, for the most part, there's some good chapsticks out
Like
there.
nicotine.
No, not
Well,
I mean,
your addiction could
why I
be
lick my
worse
lips
in
all
all
the time.
fairness.
it could,
Delicious.
but
some marijuana leaves in there.
That's probably what it is.
Probably
You look
what
at
it
Jen's
is.
chapstick and it's like
I'm getting
Yeah,
high
it's
20
cannabis.
times a day.
CBD.
20% cannabis.
But there is stuff in it that's designed to like your lips will like want it again. It's just part of how chapstick is. I totally agree with that. But I got on it years ago, and I also because I can't stand when lips look dry.
Yeah.
It bothers me. So whether it was lip gloss or chapstick or anything like that, I would put that on all the time. And then, so yeah, eventually my lips just got. And we lived in the north, and it was super cold all the time, so my lips would dry out to where you wouldn't need it like half the year. It was kind of a bummer.
Okay.
And there was no humidity, and humidity
Yeah.
helps moisturize
Yeah.
your skin.
Sure.
So had I had those options, that would have been one thing, but it was just so dry. And so, yeah, I started using it and I just got completely addicted to it. So, yeah, I can't it physically hurts. Even all night when I wake up in the morning after not having it during the night, like they're so tight. This is so way much too information about my lips. But like, because they're just haven't been moisturized all night. And so
Oh,
I have to
Jennifer,
moisturize them in the morning.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
I don't either. I
So-
haven't used chapstick in a long time.
Yeah,
But-
I would love to. So I did try to get off of it, but then I was like, at this point, I'm like, it's not. I don't know how long it would take.
I was gonna say-
and it doesn't really affect my life negatively. Like I'll just put it on.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably be addicted to it for the rest of my life, but that's okay.
Do you feel like the trade-off is okay for that?
I'm at the point where I do. So I did find some new stuff that it's Nature's Pearl chapstick, and I ran out. But that is actually, I think, started to heal them a little bit,
Okay.
and I just ordered more. And
Good.
so I'm gonna try to do that and wean myself.
Wean
off.
yourself.
Yeah, that's
There
great.
you go.
Okay, I respect
But we'll
that.
see.
I respect
We'll see what
that.
happens. But I'm also not going to deny it. If the lips are needing it, they're getting it.
Wow.
don't quote me
If
on that.
the lip- you heard it here first. If the lips
Write it
need it,
down.
they're getting it.
Write that
Wow.
down, folks.
That sounds, oh, good heavens.
But
Anyway.
like the
Jen.
north, definitely, because back home
Put
I
that
always
on your-
I need a
put that
ta-
on
I
your
need it
wall.
when we go back to Montana because
Jen, put that on your vision board.
Put that on your vision
Oh
board.
my
Put that in the door post of your home.
I put
If
that on
your
my
lips are
dating
needing
app.
it, they're getting it.
maybe don't put it on the doorpost of your home.
Probably not. Put it on your dating profile.
on my dating
There you
profile.
Well, you're out. Yeah.
I don't know
anyway.
about that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
All right.
hilarious. All right. Cool. Anyway.
Cool
good,
on that.
Good deal.
So
Good.
hey, if anyone wants to send me some chapstick,
Yeah. You're
Hit
right.
me up.
Nature's Pearl.
You're right.
Nature's
Send her
Pearl
some
only.
Nature's Pearl.
you'll
Exactly.
be my friend forever.
Cool. I love that
Okay.
segment, guys. Thank you.
Whoo, guys. All right. That was fun. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Now we are on the home stretch here, guys. And our wrap up with one more question for you guys. So, what has been a key or staple in your spiritual walk with the Lord that has helped you grow? Either one of you can go first on that.
I'd say for me, it's honestly just little things in my everyday life. For example, like if I'm washing the dishes, it's like a time where I don't have to focus on anything. Turning on worship music, or, a lot of times like being in prayer during that time, or, if I'm folding laundry or whatever I'm doing, those little mundane tasks, like just taking that time to focus on the Lord and to worship Him, just doing those little things. And, so many times I feel like He meets me right there where I'm at because, especially with a child, it's a lot harder to just like, especially if he's up, he's so busy. Like I can't just go, like ignore him for,
Yeah.
30 minutes
Your
or
time
an
is kind of
hour.
based on what he needs.
Yeah. And so I found that like so many times He meets me right there, and just like the conversations I have with Him, or just being able to worship Him. And I don't know, it's just, that's where I've found for myself that I get a lot of that time. And I don't know, it's just, the other day I was in the kitchen, I'm washing dishes, and I was playing a song, and I felt so, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like the Holy Spirit was right there, and like I felt like I was being ministered to in such a powerful way.
Wow.
And just, like taking those segments of my day and being intentional with that time, even though I'm multitasking, being intentional with it and taking time to focus on him and just worship him, thank him.
Yeah.
Like that's been really, really incredible for me.
Wow.
That's such good advice.
Good word.
Spending
Katie.
time with him. Yeah. Tony, what about for you?
Boy, I think it's in Proverbs, but basically what it comes down to for me is that great peace have they that love thy law, and nothing shall offend them, is what the verse says. I shared that with some of the youth here a couple of weeks ago. But living a life that you have to intentionally choose to not be offended. And there's
Amen.
plenty of opportunities to be offended,
Sure.
but you have to choose not to be. And once you, kind of what we were saying earlier about some other things, if you don't make it an option, it's not a temptation. And
Wow. Yeah.
being able to live with that for the past, I don't know, several years has been incredible, because there's so many times where things have happened, or people maybe even intentionally tried to do something just to tick you off, and to be able to intentionally just say, you know what, I'm going to try my best to see the good in that comment, in that jab,
Sure.
because usually there's a little bit of truth in there, and see what you can get out of it, and then just don't be offended by it. And life is so much easier when you live that way. Because then people, like I said before, like I don't, even my wife, she doesn't have that kind of, if I can even use the word, power over me, you know what I mean, to
Right.
offend me. Like
Like you are actually choosing what you're
Exactly.
going to receive
Exactly.
and take in.
Yep.
Sure.
Like
and
you can only
internalize,
add
not
to my
them.
wife, or to my wife.
Well,
Hopefully not. To my
All right,
wife.
Tony. All right, bud.
Derek is like, time out.
Time out. I'm gonna need to run that back.
You cannot take away from it.
Wow.
And I know that might seem crazy when you think about it, but like you literally can only add to my life.
Wow.
And not take
Wow.
away from it. But yeah, that's an intentional choice. That it's not easy.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to make a decision.
Yep.
And if we would all collectively as a body of Christ live that way to where we don't pick up offense from others, I mean, that's so much where the controversy and the conflict and
It
the
is.
struggle comes in, is because people choose to let other people hurt them, offend them, define who they are, whatever
Yep.
it may be. And doesn't mean that things that people say always feel nice or feel good, or
No.
that they are allowed or should be okay to say them, but you choose then how you receive it.
That's right.
And man, I just think sometimes what the world would be like if everybody lived like where what people said or thought about them just didn't matter,
Yeah.
and it would be a very different place.
What?
So that's really, really good advice. Something I need to keep learning on, because I can get
No, we all
offended
do.
real quick.
Yeah. Yep. If everyone cared, nobody cried. If everyone loved Nickelback.
I
Oh,
was like,
sorry, guys.
Is he actually quoting
I know.
Nickelback right
There we
now?
go.
If everybody cared,
There
it's
you
kind
go.
of a
Everyone cared.
Jen.
Nobody
it, Jen.
cried.
Get it,
Yeah.
Jen?
It's a good
Come on,
song.
girl. It's
Sign me.
it's a throwback. So no, I agree with that. Thank you guys both for that. It's
Yeah.
Good words. Good words. Alrighty, guys. Well, we've got one more final question for you. Before we hit that, though, Jen, I feel like we should talk about these.
Oh, are we can talk about those?
Yeah,
right now?
I think we should,
Good.
because
Okay.
by the time this comes out, so do you have the
Yeah.
others? Do you have the others handy here?
Yeah, I do.
So-
But
okay.
should we just post a picture of them?
No.
I don't know where they
well,
are.
we'll post a picture of them, but I want to talk
Okay.
about it on the actual
Okay.
episode. So, for those of you that are not watching this on YouTube, I have a pair of apple socks in my hands. If you haven't listened to Aiden's episode, we were talking about applesauce. We misphrased it, talked about apple socks. We're like, man, we love apple socks for some odd reason. So, a bunch of you guys have blessed us with apple socks.
Oh,
so,
my
we just want to
goodness.
say thank you.
That's
You guys
amazing.
are doing the most.
For sure.
This is literally the coolest thing ever when you mention something in an episode, and then that same week, we were getting apple socks in the mail.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
I don't
Christmas.
even
And
think
you
I
did pick it
remember.
up?
What?
Like you were saying apple socks, right?
Yeah, we
No,
were saying. Well, we
our
picked
guest,
it up.
Our guest accidentally said
Yeah,
apple
so-
socks, and then,
then we
I
were
was
all
like, "Oh, apple socks! I'd wear those to bed," you know. 'Cause
We're like,
of
we love
course.
apple
That's
socks.
great.
And they're
Yeah.
not
Yes.
even a thing. in
No,
my
it wasn't
mind.
even. It was a complete accident.
Yeah.
And
And then
Here they are.
2 days later, our first pair came in.
yes,
Well, they
2
said-
days after the episode came out, so
Oh,
like
yeah.
they were
That's
on it. Like
amazing.
Amazon Prime that heifer right over.
and that was an anonymous donor. So we
Yes.
don't know who you are out there. We'd love to know, but if you want to remain anonymous, that's okay.
Or-
so that was the first pair. And
Yeah.
then a girl locally here, Lisa Otto, shout out to her. She came,
Shout out.
brought me the second pair,
Oh
which
my
were identical
goodness.
to the first pair. So now Derek and I both have the identical pair,
That
which is awesome.
I know.
Even
And
though I'm the sock
then-
lover. So I'm going to claim them, but I gave Derek one.
Yeah, she was generous enough.
Yeah. And then I was gone on a trip, came back, had 2 more 2 more little packages
No
in
way.
the mail
Goodness.
with notes.
Aw. Yeah.
One
little-
is another pair, if anybody can see,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
these long apple socks, different ones than the others, which is really cool.
They're all different.
And that was from, shout out to Ruby Harris. She's local, actually. She's from Spartanburg.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
And
goodness.
she sent those to us. And
Yep.
then we got these. And these are adorable. These
Oh
are
my
short
goodness.
socks.
I
Oh my
love
goodness.
those.
And they have apples on them.
I
And
know.
these came from Nikki Peachy. Yes, Nikki
Nikki.
Peachy. Nicole Peachy. From, where are they from?
Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah.
And she sent these. And guys, I'm telling you what.
It's-
It blew
That's
my,
awesome.
it
It's
blew,
amazing.
It blew my
It's a
socks
small-
off.
It's good because I got more socks to put on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got
I'm
me.
glad it blew them off because I can put these on now. But anyway, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
I can't believe that. First of all, hearing that people even listen and then they listen and think about that and what
Yes.
we say. And they're like,
Yes.
I'm going to actually take time to write a note,
Yeah.
send them some apple socks, or even just be anonymous and just
Yeah.
bless us with them.
I
so
know.
That's amazing.
That is one of the
That
coolest
is
things.
incredible.
I'm going to be
So-
wearing apple socks for a long time.
Probably to
Long
bed,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Probably. I'm
Most
going to
likely.
Mexico actually tomorrow. Well, it'll be after this when you hear this episode, but
Right,
I'm
right.
probably taking him to Mexico.
Oh
so
my
these
God.
apple
Believe
socks
that?
are going.
Okay.
They're going
Yeah,
international.
See, Tony, this
Don't
is
need
this is the
socks
kind of
in
level that
Mexico.
I deal with.
Don't speak that
Are
to
you
me.
gonna like wear them on the beach?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh.
Into the ocean.
I might wear them
Yeah.
in the Caribbean. Is that
in the
Is that the
Caribbean?
ocean that's in Mexico?
Isn't it
Probably.
the Pacific? No. isn't
Pacific?
it? Maybe.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
I
Be
don't
the-
know. I
whatever
don't
the body
know.
of water is out
Whatever.
there. But I'll probably be wearing these to bed in Mexico. So
Most likely, maybe he'll double sock it.
yeah.
She'll probably double sock it.
I don't know. But yeah,
Ugh.
thank you guys.
Yes,
all
we
3 of you,
appreciate it.
Lisa, Nikki, and
You're
Ruby,
incredible.
and then this anonymous giver out there. We
Yes.
appreciate you guys. It's
Yeah.
super special to us that you
Yep.
did that.
We need to start dropping for bigger and bigger things. Like,
Yeah.
oh my,
I'm like, man, I wish I had
oh
a
my
car.
word. Oh, you know that 32-inch TV? Yeah, can't imagine wearing one of those. You know that Dodge Challenger I've been wanting? Oh
Like,
my
oh.
word, crazy.
I'd be like, I drive a Dodge Charger.
yeah.
No,
So
it's
maybe
really
there's
cool.
some bigger anonymous no, but no, I'm serious. This means
No,
this
it's
is crazy
so
cool.
cool.
This is
So
some of
cool.
the stuff that makes a podcast like wow. That's
Yes.
so cool.
That's
so
awesome.
big shout out to you guys. Thank you. And one more shout out I want to do is Tony recorded a song. I think you were the first here at Express Studios.
Yes.
You were the first client, right?
Correct.
You
Yep.
recorded a song. It's called Christmas in Heaven by Anthony Miller on Spotify, Apple Music. Go check that out. Definitely worth your listen.
Yeah, and we'll put that in the show
Yeah,
notes
put that in
probably,
the
and
show
then
notes,
maybe
link
the
that, but,
Instagram
yes.
page. You guys can see him because Tony has a very, very beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Aw,
very
thanks.
gifted in
Very
music.
good. Yes.
And yeah, his
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up, so
Yes,
start
Christmas
getting
in
on there.
Heaven.
Start
It's a-
streaming his Christmas in Heaven song. It's
Do
really
that.
awesome.
Do
I'll
that.
listen to it while I put my tree up.
Ah, that's so, and I'll invite you over, Jen. We can listen to it. So.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's
Hope it's in
great.
November.
Hey,
The end. After Thanksgiving.
hey,
Exactly.
I had a lot of great help on that song from Eugene, Kyle, Oni. Her voice
She has
was just
background vocals.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's just
Derek
cool.
even helped out on some stuff too. You
go,
know what I
Derek.
mean? So
I'm very not a lot, man.
yeah,
Glad to help
no,
my friend. Glad to help
I
it get released.
Appreciate
But
all the help
it's
that
so
we
cool
had.
that you were the first one here to kind of pave the way for Express Studios to get started.
Yeah,
for
yeah, it
all
was
the,
awesome.
all the cool
Sure.
things that followed, like to
Yes.
kind of help be their test run. And
Yeah.
I think on both ends they did great, and you did great, and
Yeah.
really cool,
Yep.
really cool stuff. So
Fun
listen to it,
experience.
guys. Christmas is coming up.
Love it. Check it out, guys. So, final question for both of you here. Do you have any final encouragement message that you'd like to leave with our listeners and put out there to the world?
for it.
My favorite quote.
Oh, I like it.
Derek, hopefully you catch on to it.
Dang. My reputation precedes
That
me.
was the quote, guys.
Yeah.
No, it's don't stop the combine for field mice. And
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that one because it's
I-
applicable in so many different
So
ways.
you just kill them?
So you're persecuting them?
Run 'em
Is that what you're doing? Yeah.
I don't know about that quote,
Okay,
Katie.
No, so it's
Katie's quotes include a lot of violence.
Yeah, she has some dark quotes.
no,
Yeah.
so it goes back to what
I
he's
think
saying
I'm
about being
understanding what you're saying,
being
Katie.
offended or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so many little things in life
Sure.
that you can choose to get tripped up over, and you know, just don't sweat
Like,
the small
don't sweat
stuff.
the small stuff.
Yes.
Don't let it get. Oh,
More or
Don't
less.
stop the combine
yeah.
for the field
So
mice.
keep
Yes.
plowing through, even if the things
Just
crawl up
keep
your
murdering the field mice.
legs.
That's what I heard. Keep persecuting the field mice. That's what I heard.
Persecuting them.
Keep
Like-
persecuting the field mice. That's definitely what I
because they're
heard.
so cute.
Yeah, I
Cute
know.
and persecuted.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
good, Katie. Honestly, though, that's very wise advice. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Good word.
You're so welcome. Derek's like, you're done.
I'm like, no more quotes from Katie. shutting it down.
At least he got it this time.
Second tell military time.
There you go.
I can. Just don't like to. Anyway, sorry, Derek. Tony, what you got
I'm not
for us?
offended. It's fine.
Oh, good job. He didn't pick up offense. We're already learning.
No, I got mad thick skin, man. Mad thick skin. So, you got anything, Tony?
Yeah. Going back to what we were talking about with marriage, and I think this goes, well, it can go between super close friends, but in marriage specifically, no secrets between as a couple. For the two of you, I see a lot of couples who keep secrets, between each other, or keeps things away from each other. That's just not healthy at all. I'm not saying if people come and talk to me, it's a one-on-one personal, me and another guy or whatever having a conversation, he's sharing stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to go and share that with my wife, but you know what I mean. Between you two as a couple, don't have any secrets.
Sure.
It breaks down the marriage. She's taught me that probably more than anything. Or one of the many things that she's taught me in our marriage, is that it's never healthy at all to have secrets in between you. And like I said, there are things that people share with me that I'm never ever going to go and tell her just out of respect for the other people.
But that wouldn't affect your marriage.
But it wouldn't
Those are
affect our
things that don't
marriage.
affect your marriage.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's wise.
So
Good word.
I feel like the married couples are really getting some good input on this episode, and we will for when we get married.
that's right.
Because currently, Derek and I,
Exactly.
we keep secrets from each other. But that's healthy.
Currently,
Okay, well.
Oh my heavens.
did she not set that up, Derek?
No, I
did a
did.
little
Yeah, I
bit.
said it wrong.
Yeah, the way you said it, I was just
No.
like, is this what we're saying?
Because one day when we get married to other people, then we'll, whatever.
Yeah, it's another tool in your tool bag or
Yeah.
whatever you call it.
Yes, exactly. The
Yep.
things like, if anything, being single longer you should take those opportunities to learn from the people like you guys
Yep.
who are walking it, and so that there's so much.
You'll
more.
you'll be a pro by the time
Hashtag
you get
perfect
married.
marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Gang, gang.
Anyway.
Gang.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tony and Katie, both of you guys, for being
Yes.
on this episode.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
for
you
being
for the
here,
invitation.
guys.
Seriously,
Yes.
guys.
It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, and like I said before, just such a benefit to our lives, and we've learned a ton from you, but have so much fun with you, and having that balance of having friends that you can just have a blast with, but that are also genuine in their faith, that push you, care about the things of God, the important things, not just
right.
having fun. The
Yep.
combination of that is some of the richest, sweetest friendships that you can have, and so we're very grateful for you guys in our lives and for what you bring. So
Hey, right back at you both. Really appreciate you guys. I'm serious. Huge encouragement to us both, and the way that you speak life into people. I just real quick, when I was preaching a couple weeks ago, Jen was kind of like my amen corner
Oh, yeah.
the whole time. And you always look for people like that in the crowd or whatever, where, it's not about that necessarily, but you honestly feed off the crowd a lot.
Sure.
And just the way that you both speak life into people. And even though this podcast, this is awesome. Love listening to the episodes each time another one comes out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
love doing life with you guys here.
Yes, you guys are
Wouldn't want it
great.
any other way.
Wow.
We'd move all the way across the states just
just
for the
us?
two of you guys, just to be on this
You guys are too
episode.
much.
Stop.
Yeah. Right,
But no, tell
Tony.
me more.
Yeah, no, keep going.
That's cool. Thank you,
Means
Tony.
a
We
lot.
appreciate
Seriously
that.
appreciate
Love
you
you,
guys.
man. Love
Awesome.
you both. So.
Okay, well, guys, we're going to wrap this up and follow our lead. We close our episodes like this now. So just follow us. It's super easy.
Oh, yeah.
This has been the Interview Podcast. I have been Jen.
I have been Derek.
I have been Anthony.
I've been Katie.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Take care.
See ya.